saucy on a Wednesday evening. We did not have a show on Monday. So this is actually the first episode of Outlaw Radio. Outlaw Radio, a soldier story. A show that I have given a lot of thought to, that I figure I'd kind of lay out just for the sake of conversation tonight. Welcome to the show. It's Outlaw Radio, man. Premium news, premium black news, foundational black American information, if you will, right? Why is that so very, very important? Why is it so important that we have our own networks to distribute information amongst each other? It's very important. Okay, it's very important. I have a lot to talk about tonight. We're normally on Mondays, we're normally on Wednesdays. Like I said, it was the holiday this week, and I don't know, what holidays you choose to support, but I usually don't do a show on a holiday, right? Just out of respect for my co-host. But we're gonna do one tonight, goddamn it. We're gonna do one tonight. So share the show. Jump in the chat room. Ewalk the Great. I see you, my brother. He says, yo, bro. What it do, homie? Out there in Arizona. I know it's burning up out there. There's a number attached to the show, which is 262-202-5131. Once again, it's 262-202-5131. Chat room is on deck as usual. But yeah, it's Outlaw Radio. Tell a friend and tell a friend. And if I sound kind of somber, I am, but I'm not. Like, your moods fluctuate. I don't suffer from seasonal depression or anything like that because, I mean, according to the weather, I would be upbeat and happy. But no, if you've been listening to the show, I've had an unfortunate month in which people that I knew are no longer here anymore. And one by natural death, two by natural death. One is kind of, pretty bad in itself, but then there's two that are homicides. And you'd like to think, especially if you're in a situation where I'm at, I am, for all intents and purposes, a Gen Xer, right? Like, so I'm of a certain age, and at my age, we should no longer be in the streets. I know a lot of us like to hold on to the streets, right? I get it. They say streets got to eat. I get it. I get it. I totally do. Uh, but in this situation, we should be safe. We should be clear. And apparently, this is not the case. Dion, what it do, man? He said, here we go. What up, man? What up? What up? What up? What up? Because I have to start this show off by saying, rest in peace to my homie Tavares Thomas. Rest in peace to T Rock, right? And this coming after, Yayo the Don from the hood, and the homie Big Vic, and our sister Moo. Like, it's like back to back bumbles, right? And so it makes me feel a certain kind of way, but I also understand some things about life, right? The cycle of life, in which from birth to growth to maturation to aging to out of here. And unfortunately, people have to go, right? And so, but T Rock's is especially disturbing to me. 47-year-old brother, if y'all hadn't heard, if you know, I don't want to even put any details to it, but real good dude, man. Real tight dude, man. Real smooth dude. And so what's the moral of the story, right? And I've discussed that with many of my friends. I like for brothers to chime in tonight and let me know. Because like I say, man, we too old to still be getting killed. Like, how we still getting murdered? We 47, 48, 50 years old. It's the generation that just won't quit, right? Like them goddamn Gen Xers. But rest in peace to the homie T Rock, man. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And he is also the brother of T Buck, who was Terrell Thomas, who was murdered by the Milwaukee County sheriffs in jail. They denied him water down in the county jail. They're brothers. So this mother has lost both of her sons. And this ain't the way you want to lose them, right? And that's what disturbed me the most about it. Aside from knowing that brother and knowing he was a good brother, if you out there and you knew T Rock, man, holla at your boy. 262-202-5131. If you knew Yayo the Don, holla at your boy. Tonight is a show that's, I mean, I think all of my shows will be dedicated to these brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like with my sister Mumu, I get it. We're getting old. You know, we all have some kind of, health ailments. And that was natural, even though we were sad because, she was such a bright spirit. But that's God's plan, I feel like. And the murder and the homicide is as well in a strange way, right? In a strange way, that's kind of God's plan as well. But it's just like, man, I like, and a hole is torn in that community. I spent a lot of time over there with them brothers. Shout out to Trey Six. Shout out to Trey Six. All them homies over there. Buck, Dante, right? Mac, all them dudes. My homie June, my guy Rock. Man, just so many. That was one of I had a lot of adopted homes when I was young. Because I go in everybody's neighborhood and start some shit. It didn't matter. Right? So, my brother Rel, welcome to the show. How you doing tonight, man?
Peace, man. I don't know how long I'm gonna be in. My internet been janky as fuck today. I'm hoping it's storm like they said it was, and maybe that's the cause of it.
Well, I tell you what, sometimes when I'm alone, I talk to myself. So I'll think for hours and I respond. So I don't think we'll have any kind of problems if you go out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, a soldier story or just soldier story because I realized, I've never thought of myself as a soldier per se. But you look at what soldiers do, and what soldiers do is they are kind of like the perpetuators of war, regardless of all of the negotiations and the strategic implementation. The dudes who actually bust the guns are the soldiers, right? And you think about what being a soldier is. It's really usually it's a war of attrition. Yeah, we got guns, but it's about who has the most ammo. Yeah, we have manpower, but it's about weighing losses versus victories to say, okay, we won, but we lost half our force. We still lost. So the logistics of survival basically is what it becomes: survival and then eventual domination. And so I look at my life and I say, damn, that's kind of like what it's been, because I've always had to be aware of resources. I've always had to have an eye in the sky, right? I've always had to have intelligence, sources. Some brothers, supply you with information, put it on the line. So I said, damn. But what also comes with being a soldier is losing people. Soldiers, they fight in battles and they lose, right? You might be best friends with this dude. Y'all might have been on 2 tours together. First day out, he get his head blew off. Boom. So when I'm looking at losing a brother like T-Rock, and I'm looking at losing, the homie Ye, I'm saying, damn, that's some real soldier shit, right? Like, and people joke around and say, we're at war. Black people are at war. I don't think they know the weight of that statement, right? I mean, you think about it. As a black man, you're not even safe when the homie Ye had moved. He had moved to Georgia and was only in town to pay respects to another homie from the neighborhood who died a crazy death, right? And boom, right? Enemy, when they see you behind enemy lines, like that's some soldier type shit to me. And there's many different other ways that like I could phrase it, but that was on my mind because I we feel a certain kind of way. If you knew T-Rock, you feel a certain kind of way. And rest in peace to Twin too, who was with him, who also lost his life. He's 43 years old. So shit don't make no sense, Rail. I'm a little saucy, but I think I'll be
Hey,
all
it's
right, man.
all good, man.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
it
yeah.
off your chest.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can admit that there was a point in my life where the decisions we were making, that kind of came with it. Like, if you get shot down out here, or if you get popped off and you go to jail, that's part of this shit that we're doing. Like all of this, whatever you can call it, right? But years down the line, we're talking damn near 30 years later. Uh, and y'all tell me, because people keep saying, well, you got to get the fuck out of Milwaukee, right? And I've said this many times. I don't think you necessarily have to leave the city unless you got drama like that. I think you have to get away from your hood. I think you got to really get away from your neighborhood. Like, and not to say don't come back and touch down, but like integral everyday part of everyday operations. It's just not the safest thing to do. So I feel that way too, but then I'm also the motherfucker that say, man, you got to stand and fight, whatever. So it's all kinds of emotions involved, man. But yeah, man, that's where we on to start the show. At least we're gonna talk about some other stuff naturally. But man, I feel a certain kind of way. Man, it's it's such a shame. I can't even say it enough times for Mama
Yeah.
Thomas to not have either one of her boys. I mean, within 5 to 6 years of each other. If y'all want to shout out T Rock, T Buck, Yayo the Don, Moo Moo, Big Vic, whoever you lost. If you done lost somebody, it ain't got to be by murder, right? It could just be like, man, it's a shame that this person's gone. That's something you also, when I say soldier story, is like you have to develop this mentality where we've discussed many times we're desensitized to it, right? We just say, well, that's just how it is in the hood. Shit. It's how it is on the block, man. And it's like, no, that shouldn't be the way it is, but you get used to that. You've heard the theory about most of us who grew up in urban areas during the crack epidemic have PTSD on the level of a young guerrilla warrior, right? Like as if we came up in, the Congo, the way they used to fight they civil wars over there. They said that there was a study that showed people from our generation had levels of trauma equal to that
Mhm.
PTSD, due to that. So, man, if there was ever need for therapy and prayer, right? I think those are two very important things to really consider. But yeah, man, what's up with you, man? What's up with you, man? How you doing tonight?
Hey, shit. I'm glad to be here. To your topic. Today is the last day in the month of Mental Health Awareness Month. So, we really, really want to shine a light on just mental health. Just like you said, most people in the hood has some sort of PTSD. We all know somebody who may have died violently. We all may have seen guns being shot. We definitely hear the guns being shot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it does do something to your psyche. I mean, real shit about probably about 10 years now. I was a totally different dude. I was, I don't need no guns. I'ma just pray the blood of Jesus, plead the blood of Jesus and shit like that. And all it took was one day a little dude got chased through my yard by another little dude that was holding a gun bigger than him. And I seen the one dude zip past, and I go to the front door to kind of make sure I could referee and make sure nobody else go through my yard. Then I seen the dude he was running from, and I'm like, man, my door was open. So had this brother ran through my house trying to escape, dude, it would have been a problem considering the fact that I didn't have anything at the time. And just as a man who is the head of a household and got people I got to keep safe, that thought that I replayed over and over in my head didn't sit well with me. So I mean, it being exposed to shit like that can change your psyche to the point where you ain't even the person you used to be. Now I'm a Second Amendment advocate and enthusiast.
Well, I've I've said this many times. Okay, the 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 way Milwaukee started for me and what it turned me into a different person.
Mm.
Right, I was literally the happiest little. I was always mischievous or whatever, but I was a happy
Yeah.
little motherfucker. Right, I had it good.
Yeah.
Right, my shit was tight. Right, anybody who been grew up in our neighborhood, no man, this motherfucker had it good. But
Yeah.
the world changed, and so in order for me to be able to even move through the neighborhood, I had to adapt to a certain mentality. That's what I'm saying. At that point, we all were thrown into the fire,
Mm-hmm.
and decisions, whatever. Right? We know that, but I'm embarrassed to tell you how many what I would consider dead homies. When we talk about dead homies,
Yeah.
like cats who I done literally been on the street with, doing something, kicking it with, talking to. How many of them are deceased? I'm embarrassed by the number. I'm embarrassed by it. And it's well over 20. It's well
Mm.
over 20. And I'm from fucking Milwaukee. It ain't like I'm from Compton or some shit. So it just goes to show you that we've been dealing with madness for a very long time. But like I said, we've adapted kind of like a soldier like mentality in which wearing a certain thing, being in a certain place, having certain things. Uh, Sean, you got to turn down Sesame Street. I can't. I'm getting a bad echo
That
from
this
you.
ain't no. I ain't. Son said that. Ain't anybody watching the damn Sesame Street.
Yeah, you
They
right.
watch
You
TV.
you probably watching the Electric Company and shit. You that old and shit. Great Space Coaster type
That's
shit.
what we on today, bro.
I
I
don't know.
was calling trying to be nice to your stinking ass.
Damn. And black people
What?
mean it when
What
they
up,
say
bro?
you stinking, right?
Right.
Stinking.
What's going on? Oh, yeah. Like we
Peace,
say,
peace.
yeah, see.
Yeah, man. Your audio is on zero. It's horrible. You got to put your headset on. I know you
Shit,
got
man.
one. There you go. What's going on, Sean Mo? How you doing, man?
What the fuck, out, man? What up, huh?
Man, I'm
What's that
chilling,
with you,
man.
man?
We
Peace,
good. You
peace.
calling and
What's
watching a
up with
different
tonight,
world
bro?
and shit, man. We trying to do a show and shit. Yeah,
Yeah, like, like
Whitley
no
and
damn
Dwayne Wayne in the
stranger.
background and shit. No, man, we're just talking about. Uh, I just experienced some losses, man. I've experienced some losses
Yes,
over the
sir.
past few weeks. Shout out to my cousin Tara Janae. She said so very sad. Prayers to their mom, Mama Thomas. Yes, both of her boys gone like
Mm.
that, right? Rest in peace to T Rock. GT says. Ben Clinton. Shout out to Ben Clinton, man. He said we definitely lost a lot of our soldiers on these Milwaukee streets since 1990 until now. And I've known Ben. I went to middle school with Ben. So shout out to Ben and Yule, right away. Shout out to you, brothers. I've known both of them for a very long time. But you are absolutely correct. And that's about when it starts for me. 1990, right? I think I'm about, uh, 15 years old. All of a sudden, people who I knew just start getting killed. Just
Mm.
partners, one playing with a gun, one's out and they just find him dead. Like it starts there. That's why I said that number, I'm embarrassed by it. But I would think that at a certain age it would stop, but it has not. So, like I said, my brother was 47 years old. My brother Danye was 44.
Mm.
And they're this shit it's just hard to digest for me, man. Dion, he says, bro, I'm gonna keep it real. When I was out of town, I didn't get one mean mug until I got back to Milwaukee. But welcome home, Dion. Glad you back here and comfortable. Right? Sean, what's going on? I know you know about losing people, in the streets, especially. So
I lost too many, man. I lost too many. I know the pain. I
right.
know the pain. Um, that's maybe that's why I'm so adamant about um accountability and solutions, man. All these excuses and shit, and tonight we can't do nothing, all that. I don't believe that. You know what I mean? A life, you know, you you can't devalue lives, man. And it's like when we deflect and minimize and make all these excuses, man, we just devalue life, and we telling other people we don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? Um, I don't, man, shit. I done did over 20 years, right? And I done lost about 30, 40 friends, bro.
Mm.
Right.
So I really understand, man. You know, shit sad, bro.
It's very
Sad.
sad. It's very sad.
Um,
And
what
Sean,
what
it's extra
it's up.
sad when like when the dude who that dude was genuinely a good dude, right? T Rock was a
Yeah,
good dude, like Yayo was a good dude. These wasn't some,
yeah,
my mentality makes me say, well, if grimy is as grimy does, right? So when one of the grimy homies catch it, you be like, hey man, that's how he got down though. It's like, whatever. But when it's a dude who was not that, a dude who was really, really, really thorough, and you say, why the fuck would you kill him? Right?
yeah,
Why would you kill
yeah,
him? I have to even echo the sentiment of a lot of people who I don't even like or care for when I say George Zimmerman's walking around scot free, but you
man,
killed him. You
yeah.
killed T, or you killed You're like they say, make it make sense, and it doesn't.
Well,
And so, Sean,
yes,
I
it's
I
true.
heard you talking about solutions, and I want to add this. I just want to add this. because we keep this on a level of talking about what's really going on in the city if we're going to talk about solutions. And I've noticed now that the Office of Violence Prevention is being separated from the health department right now. And you know that they have become a part of the health department. So this
Right.
is supposed to free them up to do contracting and work with other people and get access to services. So I don't know if this is a last ditch effort, or is this a pivot
Bullshit.
moment? Is it a moment? Is it
No,
Mayor
it's not a
Johnson
pivot
pivoting?
moment.
Okay, okay,
It's 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 some bullshit. Let's talk about it. I mean, we got an office, right? It's called the Office of Violence Prevention, right?
okay.
The name itself says a lot, right? Um, and now you want to separate yourself from the health department, which is going to limit your resources. Um, are we not? Are we not? In the midst of a health crisis, though, people are dying daily. People are getting killed daily, right? Um, is this not an epidemic
Yeah, but
across
okay.
America?
So now, allegedly, supposedly, this will free them up to do business with other agencies, because I'm guessing since they're under the health department, there's much more red tape and much more
That's not the veto.
I'm just
That
saying, hold
means,
on. I'm saying this is what they're saying. This is what the
yeah,
reasoning behind what they're saying is actually to be able to be out here and be more of an independent entity will enable us to engage in community-based organizations better. Because if you go in
that's
through the
what.
health department, there's parameters, there's paperwork and there's all kinds of policies,
Yeah.
and so it takes longer. It's a long drawn out process. So this is what they said. This is why they're
Hmm.
making this move. And
Okay.
it could be true. It could be like, okay, let us go out
It's,
here and work
that's,
in the community.
that's the worst thing they do, KB. That's the worst thing they can do, man. You know, the problem isn't the organizations that's doing the work now. The problem is that there's no direction, right? Everybody's doing their own thing, trying to accomplish the same goal. That's not going to work. When you have 13, 14, 15 different organizations doing something different, trying to reach the same goal, you have chaos. You don't have any structure, right? You don't have a set goal that everybody's trying to. I spoke with Ashanti when he got this office, and I suggested that he he have everybody that wants to do violence prevention um come come under the Office of Violence Prevention and at least meet weekly so that they can go over their goals, their accomplishments, what they didn't accomplish, and what they need to tweak. Right? But everybody has the same goals and the same order as to how they accomplish this.
I
If
and
you not gonna have, huh?
I don't. First of all, I don't want to put this all on them, and I'm not trying to blame OVP for this, because once again, it's bigger than them, right? I said that because you said the word solution, so I said, okay, what was the
Hmm.
reaction from the city? Because the people I've lost is only like a drop in the bucket. Right now, we're over 50 murders already, I believe,
Hmm.
and
Uh huh.
so a lot of us out here are feeling this pain. And so I understand that this problem is so much bigger than the Office of Violence Prevention. It's so much
Hmm.
bigger than them. It's so much bigger than any organization that's in the community that is there
Right.
effectively from 9 to 5, right? Right. And so what there should be organizations that work daily, but then they should be able to pass the baton to law enforcement who's there when they're not there. But it doesn't work like that.
Okay.
So I'm not putting that on them, because they're just people as well, and they looking at statistics and data, and that shit ain't got nothing to do with what being a human being is. I blame
But
his death
but they,
on I blame his death on the element in our community. Listen, for you to be an individual who would shoot down in cold blood two men that you've known, right?
Mhm.
That you've known, from what I hear, there was some familiarity there, and I'm not, you got to be careful. But for you to be able to do that, we got some psychopaths walking around in our community that could just gun down. It's like the homie, you get like, yeah, you get gunned down in broad daylight. We talking about on Capitol damn near, like the main
Right.
thoroughfare, right? Like, and so OVP ain't equipped to deal with those kind of individuals. They're not. They're not equipped to deal with that at all, Sean. So I just want to make, but let me
So
get
they
my.
have people. So they have to see. I believe people talked about this before. Man, let me turn this shit off.
I've been
Um,
asking you to turn the shit off for 30 minutes. You just got to be
I'm in
hard
the
headed.
I'm in the truck now, dude. So
Well,
you wouldn't ask me to turn it
we
down.
can't listen to the Breakfast Club while you on the show, Sean. Come on.
Man, what the hell ever, man. You know, when Ashanti took this position, right? Um, it ain't like he didn't know what the hell he was getting into, KB. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that we've had this problem for years, for decades, right? But he took a position that he knew was going to come under scrutiny, that was going to be critiqued, and you have done nothing yet to change the direction of OVP in a shit. You just got the position last year, but you've been involved with OVP for the last 6 years.
Well, I get all of that, and I'm saying I, there's some different things at work here. Now, let me get Mama Jenkins. She says, "Good evening, my outlaw family. I thought Reggie Moore made the move to help solve problems for the people at the mental health facility. The health department needs to be on board with the OVP." Well, originally, Mama Jenkins, it was the health department along with the county to come out and say, "Hey, guess what? Discrimination and racism is a mental health issue. It's a health hazard, right? This is why we supposedly had gotten the Office of African American Affairs at both the city and the county level, right? That this is so they've been trying all these different things for years, and mostly for the largest part they're ineffective, right? We know that. But I definitely think if we're talking about mental health, why wouldn't the health department be involved, right? Even just for their resources in terms of psychologists and therapists to say, hey, let's outsource some services to them for the kids in the community, to bring that element to the community instead of a t-shirt and a flyer, to say, hey, no, this person here is a therapist. He's under contract. We like to start signing people up. It's thinking outside the box. And once again, this is about my homie, and this is about both of my homeboys who have everybody. And so it's bigger than Reggie Moore or Ashanti or whatever they're doing. There has to be some shift for us, because, like I said, we got some little fucking psychos running around in our community. You think about the
Yeah.
callousness. You think about the callousness in which with which they operate, right? Like, it's like, nah, I'm going to fly through traffic at 90, hit a van, and not, no one in particular, hit a car, hit another automobile with kids in it, and 3-4 people die. And I go and I'm broke up and I go to jail and go through court, and there's literally people in the hood with my t-shirt saying, "Free me." Fuck you mean free me?
Right.
you know,
Right.
it's this ass backwards mentality that we have, where it's like, man, we worship, man, that's a real nigga. Why? Because he'll shoot some people. Because we've made this kind of mentality, like, do you a ghetto hero or something? If you riding around with a big ass gun, and you would get down and leave some bodies. Like, niggas make songs about it. They go on tours about this shit.
So this
They
goes back
champion it.
to our government though.
Okay.
So when they passed that law about these guns, man, right? In Milwaukee, and uh you ain't gotta have your permit, all that little shit. I believe I spoke about it then, how unless the laws change with that law, which laws have not changed, we were gonna experience a higher number of deaths. And we have. Um Everybody in the city knew that this was happening though,
Right.
right?
It's not a secret.
And right. So they take these positions, knowing that they're not going to succeed.
I don't. Well, Sean, hold on though. I don't know that they know they're not going to succeed. Now let's hold on. Let's give individuals the benefit of the doubt. You know,
I'm not doing that.
some of these people feel like they are doing the best that they can. I know a lot of people who are working for these organizations who really approach
Hmm.
their jobs like, no, I'm for real about this shit. And if I can just say one
Yeah,
person, if I could just help one person, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So I'm not gonna say they all are. See, people also, that's a misnomer too. People try to make it seem like people who work in social services and nonprofit, all of them don't give a fuck. They just there to get a check. They don't, they don't care about the people. Let me tell you, first of all, the money ain't that great, and there's no instant gratification. So people who do it long term ain't doing it just for the money. People who you
now
see
you
work
know
for
I
all
know
these
that.
different organizations, they have to have some passion for it, because or else you just go work corporate. Like you wouldn't even, this
Uh,
shit, it can
it's,
be a
it's,
headache.
I didn't say the employees. I said the people that take these positions that run these organizations. Right. Um, this is about ego, portfolio, resume, image. I mean, we had a blueprint for peace put together that didn't do shit. It ain't worth a piece of paper that it was written on because it's full of shit. Because the person that produced it wasn't, he didn't have the capacity for the fucking job. Honestly, man.
Who would have been the right person? Martin Luther King? Like it did. Like I don't feel
Oh
like.
man, listen. We talking about something that we were trying to get a grip on 6 years ago, right? 6 years ago when there were multiple organizations, churches involved, all of that, right? Um, at that moment, when you had that momentum, you was a part of it, KB. We were on these streets consistently. So, you know what? I'm gonna say this, and I'll let this prove it. Uh, a directive came from Reggie Moore to his 414 for employees about the hotspot, that they were not going to do nothing about the hotspot. They wouldn't speak on it. They wouldn't even go up there by the store. Why is that when when this is your area that you picked out to work in, that you were going to concentrate on, right? This specific area, and y'all were told, and you told your employees, we're gonna leave that alone. Why?
Yeah, I
Can't
get
nobody answer that
I
question.
get everything you saying about them, but I also think that they are powerless. There's no, unless, listen, unless you gonna bring something here to combat the poverty. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
what you call yourself. I don't care what
Yeah,
blueprint you got. I don't care what suit you wear. I don't care how many languages you think you can speak. Unless you do that,
yeah.
ain't nothing you gonna bring gonna work, right? Because the
I agree.
bottom line is poor people who live in real object poverty have a whole different set of decisions to make than you do. Like, and I'm saying not you specifically, but anybody who's not in that
Yeah.
situation. So I can't go into these neighborhoods a lot of times and even begin to appeal to people until I have something for them. It's like, are you helping me? Well, no, but well, get the fuck out my way. Right? Like it's like
Yeah.
you blocking me. Like move. And so there has to be, OVP should have been implemented with a different part of it, should have been a two-pronged program. First of all, there should have been a very high concentration on the school. And then there should
Mm-hmm.
have been some way, somehow you can team up with workforce development agencies like Employ Milwaukee to say, brother, I'm not just talking to you, just giving you some speech. I'm saying I can tell you where you can go tomorrow and get a warehouse job where you're making $22 an hour. Right? You got, for real? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right. There should have been different components of it, as opposed to this
Yeah.
belief that we're going to do this with bells and whistles. Is we're going to speech them to death. We're going to quote them to death. I'm going to bring a dashiki and some beads, and I'm going to bring some, what's that shit? Some sage, and I'm going to walk through the community, and everything will be okay. Right? Like that shit's not happening. So I
That's what they
say that again,
they
bro.
depended on everybody coming woke and ultra conscious, and we're gonna pray these fears away. We're gonna walk through the city with sage, and because we so conscious and because we're so woke now, everything's gonna be all right.
I said that wrong too.
What's it?
I said that wrong too, because that seems like an
Really?
indictment on people who are out here that are, really are on that path to, what we call them hotep or
Hold
whatever.
on. You know what,
Coach
Casey?
conscious. Hold
Let
on,
me
hold on, hold
let
on.
me ask you this.
Hold on. There's some people who are conscious out here who feel like, no, you're right. I will walk through the neighborhood and burn my sage. Yes, you're right. I do hold on to that. So I don't want to shit on them either. I'm saying there
I
had
ain't
to
gonna
be
sit up. I'm gonna say this.
a real systematic implementation of this program for it to work. It's going to take more than somebody with a righteous mentality who knows how to organize crystals. You actually need some dudes who know policy. You know what I mean? Like they can all hang out together, but I'm just saying, there has to be, have them work with wellness, because there's room for them in this too. They can work with wellness, health and wellness individuals and say, hey man, we eat. This is how we supposed to eat. So I don't want to shit on them and be like, fuck them
Well,
motherfuckers.
I'm not. I ain't sitting on them, but if you just became woke and you 45, what the fuck was you doing them other 45 years?
Well, you getting redeemed. There's redemption, ain't it? Like,
come on, man. Hell, man. Listen, man.
Wait, I didn't know you
all
could
this,
get too old
all
to
this.
be woke. I didn't know you can get too. There's
Man,
an age limit on it.
I didn't listen. This new wokeness shit. All this woke, that's bullshit.
I ain't talking about white woke. I'm talking about black woke. Because there's a difference between the two. And I realize white people have kind of taken that term and bastardized it, because that's what they do usually with things that we say. But there is a such thing as black woke. Now, and I got a lot of respect for individuals who are foundational black
Explain me what
Americans.
woke is.
I'm going to. If you are an
Yeah, please,
individual, if you're a foundational black American, and you started to really study things that you hadn't studied before, like, our history, and not necessarily about slavery and all this, but just about culturally, academically, all of that kind of thing. And you start looking into us and you said, man, this shit has been stacked against us for a very long time. And you become more aware of the systematic nature of it, then you're woke. You're not glamored anymore. When you understand the difference between having integrity and being a step and fetch it in the workplace, you woke. When you learn how to navigate situations where you're around white people and you don't start code switching to the point where your own family be like, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga? Because you're, hey, Bob, yeah, I wanted to get some ketchup from you. Like, what the fuck is wrong with daddy? When you woke and you realize I ain't got to do that shit. It's cool for me to be Tyrone all week, everywhere I go. But I also have to conduct myself accordingly. That's black woke to me. I ain't talking about white people who super bleeding heart liberals who want to, I'm so sorry. I got a lot of black friends. I love black people. All that. I ain't talking about that woke where they feel like they offended by every goddamn thing. I'm talking about black power to the people, dashiki, sandal, dreadlock. I'm talking about them people who be serious about that shit.
And if you ask some of them, they're gonna tell you they've always been conscious.
Dre Day, what it do?
Right?
What it do, Dre Day? I
They
guess
may not use the word woke.
they okay.
Woke has become this thing, man, that we just attaching ourselves to, just like Soros and BLM, right? It was a great thing. Black Lives Matter, and didn't nobody even know who the fuck had produced Black Lives Matter. Then they found out about this dude Soros, and now, shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I use that terminology just to describe, because really there's always divisions in our community. So there are people who feel like they are enlightened, and so they don't deal with other people like that. Like they only deal with each other. And real, like, so it's a group of people and they're all vegan and they're all really natural. And they all really like, this is how we live. That's their clique. That's who they rock with. So, but they identify themselves as like, I'm an enlightened nigga. I ain't, I don't do all that bullshit. There's some people who feel that way, and rightfully so. They've changed their lives. They and they seem to enjoy, each other's company. They have a lot of a lot of solidarity. So I applaud them. I'm just saying, my homeboys who lost their lives, both lost their lives over something very, very senseless. Very senseless.
Yeah.
And once again, this is bigger than the violence preventers going in saying, hey, well, somebody got killed. Don't nobody do nothing else. Not that that's what they do, but it's bigger than them. This is over your head. This is out of your pay grade. Like I said, if
Well,
you don't
don't
pull
call
up,
yourself violence preventers.
say that again.
Don't call yourself violence preventers then.
Shit. Well, don't call yourself the
If you're
Temptations.
not preventing, if you're not preventing violence, then don't call yourself a violence preventer.
Okay. I just seems like I feel like people point the fingers at them a lot and don't point the fingers in
Well,
other, because listen, the
but
truth
that's
is
what they asked
right
for,
now,
baby.
we just got the $1.5 billion Milwaukee public school budget passed. But check this out. First of all, they gave the teachers an 8% raise because they said the cost of living has gone up. Okay. Okay. And then
That's
they
a
said
whole.
Man,
they
teachers don't
budgeted.
get paid enough, man. I went on a field
Well,
trip
hold
with
on.
my kids the other
All
day.
for it. All for it.
Man,
Teachers get 8% get it. But I'm saying there has to be some incentive here. And I'm a former teacher, right? And that's so now
that
when you
shit
say
wow.
we came up with a budget where we're actually planning on not having several positions. Hundreds of positions are vacant, which means you're intentionally underserving students. I'm gonna bring you into, and then on the other hand, they say, well, we looking now at a proposal to build one state-of-the-art, high-tech, high efficiency new school. And I said, wait a minute. Y'all ain't got enough people for the one y'all got now, but y'all want to build a bigger one. And I get what they're trying to do. It's really about centralizing this shit. Saying Milwaukee gonna have 3 high schools. All this shit we had growing up, neighborhood schools, that's gonna be gone. So, but that system is failing our children at an alarming rate, right? And shout out to you if you got a baby who graduated from high school. Enjoy that. Acknowledge it, tell your kid that they accomplished something. But I'm saying it's no coincidence that our young people are running amok when they're coming out of school or working in the school system where there's no control there either. And now you're telling me you got to get rid of even more people. I just think people are more important than property. Why are you talking about allocating billions of dollars for a new school when once again you have empty positions? Well, we can't fill them. If you put some more money on them, you could fill them. They would go. Trust me. So that's a part of it. That's a part of where we say, okay, that's failing too, right? And then so we look at so we got young people who are underprepared by the school system. And then we talk about our law enforcement, in which they have, I believe, about an $800 million budget. And they say every day we can't even do shit about this crime. What the fuck are we paying you for? See, OVP would need all of those things to help work together, Sean. You know what I mean? Like they would really need. And here's another conflict. If you work with the police, brothers in the hood ain't talking to you. But if in order for you to really be OVP, you almost got to have a situation where you fucking with the police. There, I said it, right? Like, because if you know Lil Moo Moo them finna go shoot Ray Ray them, you damn near got to go tell. You got to go say, man, y'all go over there, it's going to be a shooting. Once you do that, it puts your life in jeopardy. So how you gonna even do that shit? How you Now they say we risked our lives, and I believe they have. They've gone in there and tried to mediate situations. But like I said, but they would also say one of the biggest controversies, Sean, was years back when they were asked, wait, so y'all fuck with the police? And like the violence offenders was like, no, we can't fuck violence preventers. I said. They were like, no, we can't mess with the police because it would jeopardize our position in the community. So I'm like, well, what are you doing then? Right? It,
So we didn't mess with the police, but we had an understanding with the city that if we were on site when this crime happened, if we couldn't prevent it, right? Um, as long as we left when the police came, If we didn't interfere in their shit, they wouldn't question us about nothing, right? And I believe in restorative justice, right?
But hold on. No, you said you said you'd leave. You said you'd leave if something
we would
happened.
lead a scene. We would lead a scene.
Okay.
So that my employees wouldn't be jeopardized in the neighborhood.
But if y'all saw it and y'all told them, wouldn't that kind of make the investigation get closed quicker?
But that's the thing, though, KDC. We when we were on the ground in the grounds, man. We never endured the shit, bro. Honestly, we had built that type of relationship that they wouldn't do shit around us. They didn't want to jeopardize our position as well because they needed us like we needed them.
Kobe Lloyd, you're right.
Us like we needed them to need us, right? And we were working 27 at accidents, 27 an hour, right? Hot spot, bro. I mean, hot fucking spot. And when we came to work, man, you would see people move around because they knew our position. We didn't tell on nobody. You know what I mean? We didn't have to though. And if you go back and look at the data when we were out there, man, in those areas, crime dissipated, right?
Frank. Frank. Frank Nitty said,
no,
y'all see. He said, you see.
I ain't no Frank.
Frank Nitty said the crime went back up when he left Milwaukee.
I didn't say I was Batman, motherfucker. I ain't Batman.
What up to Sean Signal?
No, I had relationships from years before with people's daddies and mamas and shit. So, I could walk up to their son, hey man, listen, I'm gonna talk to your daddy. You can't be on the corner like this. All right, OG. Don't tell my pops OG, right? I built them relationships.
Kobe Lloyd said we pay the police. You are correct. That's why they got a $800 million budget. But Sean, check this out. What you saying is admirable, right? But this is how I know that this is a different day than even when you were out there. Because in one of these cases, this was somebody who is similar with your position in the same kind of status to be able to walk up to somebody who's wilding out saying,
no,
hey man,
don't do that.
No, because without even giving the particulars. Listen to what I'm saying. And I'm talking about this specific situation. This is a situation like you said, I know your mother. You know my mama. We are basically family. And if anybody should be able to say something to you about what you're doing, it should be me. And it's boom, boom. You see what I'm saying? So all of that, I hear what you're saying, but I think we're in a different time now where these youngsters might tell you, man, you better move your old ass around. What you think my mama gonna do? Whoop me? Fuck, I just got out the pen. Fuck, you think it put me on punishment? You don't get your ass up out of here. These kids, it's a higher frequency of dysfunction out here right now, Sean. I'm not doubting the validity of your program. I'm just saying you'd be very hard pressed to walk into some of these neighborhoods now and think that you could flex some sort of OG card. I think these youngsters will be like, nigga, they laugh at you. Like, who this old ass dude supposed to be, man? Like, it's that crazy in the street. I'm not telling you nothing you don't know, Sean. I'm not attempting to.
Come on, man. I was a part of that era that first set the record at 163. I mean, I was out here looking at this shit, watching this shit, right? In that shit. So I believe you, me, KB. I understand because I used to be one of them young cats, man. I ain't trying to hear you, old dude. You know what I mean? Get out my face with that shit, old dude, right? Then I walk my ass back into my grandmama's house, and he's sitting in my fucking living room. Man, I just believe that. I don't think I'm Superman. I don't, but I'm one of the motherfuckers who laid the foundation for this bullshit. And if I can't walk around you motherfuckers and talk to you motherfuckers, then it's a real fucking problem. And we gonna deal with it. And this is how I live my life like that every fucking day. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I'm
Uh,
I'm I'm
I
47
don't
years
fear
old.
these
I ain't got
cats.
time for
I
that
know what
shit.
these.
Not
I
wrestling
know
with
what they
these
gonna
young
do.
bulls.
I ain't gonna wrestle with them, man. You know what I mean? I got that instinct where okay, shit. I know when it's time to move around. Um,
Mm.
You better.
but I don't fear niggas
Shit,
either. Me.
you better. Um,
You know
my Mama
what I mean? I
Jenkins,
don't.
Mama Jenkins in the chat room. She said, "KB, we got high school graduates. They can't even count change, but I do give kudos to them for staying the course to get a diploma. Don't know what's ahead for them, but I hope someone has told them to get a trade or an associate's degree and not to get in debt for a 4-year school." I think there's a second part. I really got to figure out when there's a second part to these comments how I can get to the second parts. I think you run out of character. Well, yeah, I mean, you think that's what I'm saying. Part of this problem also is young men who are 18, 19, 20, getting out of school, all of a sudden realizing, wait a minute, I have no skills, right? Like I've struggled to read. I used to my co-host Jay, who used to be on here with me, shout out to Talk to Teach. He used to get pissed at me for talking about the literacy rate in Black America. He's like, man, you act like niggas can't read. In your mind, all niggas is illiterate. I'm like, no, but statistically, if you really sit a large group of us down and do like literacy assessments, a lot of us wouldn't score very high, right? And I've also worked in the school system, and I saw young Black people who really struggle with reading. And it's not just saying the words that's on the page, but it's comprehending what you just read. That kind of helps you with critical thinking, where you can take a bunch of information, examine it, and draw some sort of hypothesis from it, right? And so we got a lot of kids, like Mama Jenkins said, they ain't, man. Listen, have you gone into a restaurant or a store lately with some of these youngsters working in there? Your order fucked up, your change fucked up. They customer service is shitty. You like, dude, give me my money back. I mean, I've literally gone to a McDonald's and sat in line for 15 minutes. And when I got to the window, they said, we ain't taking cards. I said, why in the fuck didn't you tell me 15 minutes ago? And they just go, well, who rung you up? It's like, dude, forget it. I'm just leaving. I'm just leaving. So it shows. It shows in you go and deal with them. I'm not criticizing them. I think that there needs to be a reinvestment in saying, hey, let's slip literacy in on our people, right? Let's make it a really big thing in these elementary schools. Not that teachers aren't putting some focus into it, but I think at this point it has to be the main thing. And for some of you grown-ups, y'all ass can't read either. I know. I've talked to some of you. You can't read either. You need to get an app on your phone or something. You know what I mean? And do it in private, right? Like be in your room talking about and Joey hit the ball. Did I get that one right? Yeah, baby, you so smart.
No.
You be like, yeah, I'm learning how to read shit. Real nigga. Um, you know how to work that
Okay.
scale though. Erica Hunt said, "Hi, Outlaws. How you doing, my sister? It's Soldier Story
What's
tonight.
on
We're all
Peace,
soldiers.
peace.
Growing up on the north side, man. Here in Milwaukee, you are a soldier because we fought through some tough shit, right? Even right now, Master Lock has announced this is where I'm going back into poverty and workforce development again. Master Lock was it
Yeah.
1921, 1821? They were founded here. 100 years. They said we out with no explanation. They had been moved their headquarters, and they said we are out. Why do you think that is? And the reason why is because when the community is not giving you real competent employees, right? Like he's like, man, who the fuck can we hire? Who back in the days when they started, I'm sure the people who worked there all lived around the facility. They were able to draw from the community. What they getting is that 53206? What they getting from 53206? What high school had an internship program with Master Lock to say we want to make sure y'all get kids who come through there who get educated and qualified to work on this level with manufacturing? Who built that bridge? Nobody did. So they was like, fuck y'all, we out. We're out. It's not like they going out of business. They just said Milwaukee kiss our ass. Mama Jenkins said they can't read. If they can, do they understand what they read? Yes, critical thinking is not a part of school anymore. Well, a lot of what's going on, and once again, look at the buildings. If you telling me an already underserved school system is about to eliminate hundreds of positions and then say, well, We got to soldier on. I feel sorry for these babies. What are they getting from the schools? What are they getting? But that's part of it. You look at Master Lock leaving, Eden has left. Sean, that's your neighborhood over there, right? Where Eden was, and what's the other place that was over there?
Eden, A.L. Smith.
Yeah, we know A.L. Smith. What's the Rocket was Eden, and then there was some government place that did like people don't even notice. They did like
DRS.
Yeah, they did like weapons and shit.
DRS.
Yeah, they built like guidance systems for missiles and shit, like military. This shit was right in the hood, and they been gone. Did they tear that building down?
Nope.
I thought they tore Eden down. I went through there the other day, and it looked like
you said Eden, yeah. They got rid of that.
It was the city had bought it, right?
No, listen. This what happened, right? I'm about to tell y'all because I had the conversation with Ashanti. We wanted the building to be cleaned out and used as an African American culture center, right? Ashanti sold it to this white dude to build high-rise condos.
Okay.
So the land has been designated for these condos. It's just a matter of when they're gonna do it, and I believe that the way that it's going over there, man, they're allowing all of this crime and violence so that when they do go up in there, they have concrete cases, right? Like they did with them cats in them hundreds. But this been going on in that neighborhood for 15, 20, 30 years. So I don't know how much more fucking evidence they need.
I think you're giving them too much credit, Sean. I feel like you
giving who too much credit.
The powers that be, they're not allowing shit to go on. This shit is going down.
Listen, KB, when the whole city knows that 90% of the crime and violence in that area comes from one location, that shit is being allowed, bro. When you have people call the police and go down to these offices and these buildings and shit, and they do nothing.
Well, hold on. I'm uncomfortable with your statistic. I'm uncomfortable with your statistic. I do not believe 90% of the crime over there comes from there. Atkinson has always been rough from head to toe.
I didn't say Atkinson. I said that neighborhood.
Right? No, I'm saying, but that's on Atkinson. That's part of Atkinson.
From 23rd to 30th, from Roosevelt to Glendale, yeah, bro. That's coming from that store.
90? No, Sean, that's not 90% of the crime in that area.
Man, okay, you know what? So let them say what they want to say about me. I don't give a fuck, but
not 90% of the crime.
Selling. Hold on, man. In that store, you can buy everything except for a kid. And somebody came up there about 5 years ago trying to sell a child. So
it's about 7 stores in that general area who do the same thing. They just don't get the press that the house part gets.
And that one store owns 3 of them. That one store has 3 of them corners, and we know that they have a gambling spot. They sell drugs out the store. You can buy pistols from them. They are the plug. What?
Sean, there's no way. There's no way. Hold on. There's no way you can convince me that if the hotspot closed down, crime would go down by 90% in that area. That's just not even realistic. It would not. There's no one place in this city, aside from maybe City Hall, where if you close it, crime would go down 90%. That was kind of like a joke.
In that area,
I had slid
in that area.
It's too much going on. There's a gas station on Green Bay, really close to there, where several bodies have been. There's one right there on Teutonia, by Roosevelt, where plenty bodies have been found. There's so many over there in that area where, and if you start going south, down to Teutonia, I mean, come on, man, it gets bloodier and bloodier. I can't give them 90% of it.
I'm giving them 90% from 23rd to 30th, from Hope to Glendale.
Hmm. We'd have to get a map.
From Hope to Glendale.
If y'all tuning in, it is Outlaw Radio. It is Soldier Story, and it started with me discussing the senseless murder of my brother Tavares Thomas. Rest in peace to T Rock, and I was also referencing my homie. You see it on the screen, Yayo the Danye, from the hood, and I people losing their lives senselessly, and crazier that it's us. Like we want to say is them young boys out here killing us and shit. Well, either we ain't getting out the way fast enough, right? Or because you got a lot of brothers, I'm gonna be honest, you got and this is no indictment on anyone's character. You have a lot of brothers who feel like I went through this. You feel an obligation to your neighborhood. You feel like I should have some loyalty to my neighborhood because this is where I cut my teeth and I got so much love over there, right? And so a lot of us tend to stick around and be like, yeah, man, I'll still be up in the hood. I still be all up and through there, man. I'll be over so-and-so house. And a lot of times they get victimized at an older age because I think we need to be getting out, right? It's okay to come back. I'm not saying disassociate yourself, but the everyday hustle and bustle, I'm still out here on these streets. I'm still at my age, I feel like you should have advanced your life a little bit. You should have, you have charted a course to better your situation. And I'm alarmed that after all these years, I still got partners getting murdered. Right? It's very alarming to me. I'm saying, no, it's real shit for me to keep my black ass out the hood. Go through there. What up, dog? What up? What's happening? Woo, woo, woo. Boom, boom, boom. Still got love. Hey. But as far as me being out there every day, nah, it's a done deal. Dion, you right. He said these new niggas don't give a fuck. That's what I'm saying. When Sean was referencing the ability, which used to be a real thing for us. If we were out there on the block and a respected older cat who we knew was about the business came up and said, yo, man, y'all got a boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Man, okay. All right, big dog. All right, well, now, no.
So I answer this for me then. Why is it that there's no drama up around fixing them joint up on Burleigh?
You talking about in that particular store in that area? That area is crime ridden. What you talking about?
Hold on. Let me finish, right? When that store is open, when Six them is up there, right? That area that Six has, you don't see no activity right around there, man. They take that shit away from his store. Why is that?
I can tell you it has its parameters. Because first of all, I'm not going to deny or discredit him for what he does, because I don't actually know what he does. But I will say this: I'm guaranteeing you some shit going on while they in the store. The city says that to me. That's what it tells me. Crime don't stop. Juice lady in the building behind the wheel. What's popping, Courtney?
Hey y'all.
What's going on with
Courtney?
You? No, I'm just leaving the
peace.
leaving the Stacey Abrams book reading or whatever, book signing. So I'm on the world headed home.
Okay. Yeah. We're just talking about the soldier like mentality. We've all been kind of eased into a war. I think a lot of us aren't aware that we have been at war, because a lot of people don't think of themselves like, I'm a soldier, I'm at war. But the mentality becomes that. Like, you have enemy lines, you have forbidden territory, you have places where you could go and be attacked.
We clearly need to learn how to do headlocks like these white folks, though. If you don't know how to do a headlock, shit, we need to learn it, don't we?
You better get a head Glock. Talking about you getting in a headlock.
Headlocking the shit out of us. Ain't they choking us out to
death? Dion said we made names for ourselves, but these young niggas be on BS. He said, don't nobody care. And Sean, that's what's admirable about what you say, is because you want to approach it from a perspective of, I got love for these youngsters. I really want to help you. But they're not receptive to that. They're not open to that. They don't want no love from you. They really don't. Man, you better go with that shit. Bro, we out here, they feel like they've inherited the land, so to speak. And it's bananas. What's the movie, Lord of the Flies? When you leave the kids alone on the island and they all go goddamn crazy. What is it, 2 of them left at the end and shit? Like, it's like It's that kind of mentality in Milwaukee. But I do want to say again, if you just tuning in, if you knew T Rock, if you knew Yayo, if you knew the homie Vic, if you knew Moo Moo, if you knew anybody you got that you've lost, feel free to call in and elaborate. Um, because I feel like you got to get this out. You know what I'm actually moved to do. What I'm about to do is I'm gonna go ahead and plant me a garden. I'm getting started late,
That's
but
fly.
I'm gonna plant me a garden, man. I'm gonna plant
There
me
you
an
go,
outlaw
Kev.
garden. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna put collard greens and tomatoes and cucumbers and peppers and and I'm gonna fence it off so even the squirrels can't get at it early and on. And we gonna
Right,
eat
right.
a beautiful feast at the end of this summer. I just need something just to put my
Yeah,
hands in and just say, you know
for
what, let
sure.
me let me get back to some of the basic foundations and fundamentals. So I'm gonna start me a garden, man, this week, man. I'm about to go to work, man. I'm about
That'd
to
be
put it
dope.
down.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
That's
man.
what's up.
You got to talk to
Dog
your
got
parents with
a
love.
green peak.
Well, I grew up with parents from Mississippi, so I did this years ago. We stayed at a different place, and I said, "You know what? I think I'm gonna do a garden this summer." My wife looked at me like, "Your ass don't know nothing about no garden." Boy, I had collard greens and cabbages and lettuces and onions, all kinds of shit growing. She was like, "You actually know what you're doing." I'm like, "I told you, I grew up. My mother and father, like, boy, this is what you do. This is how you plant a garden." So I know how to do that shit. I'm not a pro.
And
I'm not a pro, but I know how to do it. I know how to do it.
let me
So
ask you a question, KP.
what's that?
Let me ask you a question. You too, real.
Yeah.
Court, you too, right? Um, I asked this question 2 days ago on my page, right? If you knew that somebody, you know this person, and they selling fentanyl, they out here knocking motherfuckers off, right? Um, what would your response be?
To them personally?
So, folks, you just out here
What?
killing
No,
people,
no.
folks? That's what I would
What
say.
would you do if you knew that somebody you knew was doing this, was was
I,
participating
I
Well,
in
the,
these
would say,
activities?
folks, you out here killing people. And they be like, man, I'm
Okay,
just out here trying to make some money. But I'm like, folks, if you keep killing people, you know I'm going to have to go tell on your ass, right? And I probably would. I
And
might go
then you
tell on their
become
ass. Like,
victim
folks,
you
I'm
number
going
just
to tell
two.
on your ass.
oh no,
Come
hold
on
on, Sean.
now. Go get you some crack.
I can't hear her.
I
Stop.
know, I know, I know. I see you can't.
Oh, you
Um,
couldn't hear me?
yeah, he said he couldn't hear you.
Oh, I'll say it again. So, Sean, I would be like, folks, you know you out here killing people, right? And they be like, man, I'm just trying to make some money. And I'm like, man, you keep killing people. I'm going to have to go tell on your ass.
Okay,
Well,
okay. Well,
there's that what I asked Sean about earlier, which is the conflict for the OVP, in which, hey man, y'all work with them people. We ain't fucking with y'all. But here's for me the thing is, if I got a partner who's living that life, the first thing I'm gonna do at this point is stay the fuck away from him. Right? He
Right.
won't see me. Right? He won't, and he'll call me and say, "Hey man, why you don't never come through?" And then I tell him, "Man, you been on some wild shit, bro. I can't be fucking with you like that, man. I mean, you my man, 50 grand, but man, I ain't fucking with you on that. I can tell him
so
that.
I'm about to put you. I'm about to. I'm about. I'm about to put you in the middle of some shit, right? Now, that's your man's, right? And you know that he getting down, and he did one of your people something that kill him. What you gonna do?
Shit,
Ooh!
unless somebody asks me, I
What
can't
you
do
gonna do?
shit. I can't do shit.
Why not? Why not? What you mean?
He
Why
gave
can't
me
you
one
do
of my
that?
people. I'm definitely finna call my people. Folks, don't smoke it. I'm trying to catch them before they smoke it. Folks, don't.
Well,
Hey, you ain't lighted yet, did you? Don't do it. Come on,
when you
don't.
say when you say one of my people, you saying somebody like a close family member, I'm
Somebody
assuming.
close. Yeah,
Okay.
somebody
Um,
close.
you know what?
Because this is happening every day.
I still wouldn't tell because that
What's
person
happening?
chose to get that from him. He didn't force it on them.
He just
They are
wanted some
obviously
weed,
in that
Kev.
life as well.
He
No,
didn't want
that
no
person
fentanyl
chose to
weed.
buy something that's gonna get them high, not kill them.
Yeah, but we all know right now certain shit come with the risk of the fentanyl, right? And so if you still out here fucking with that, there's lanes, there's levels, Sean. Like I have to look at the person who lost their life. If he Mickey'd their
Right?
drink, if he Mickey'd their blunt or something, then I got an issue with him. Then I'd probably say, man, you got 15 days, you killed my cousin. You got to turn yourself in. But if it's like cuz went bought some pills or bought whatever from him that he knew was already hot and he suffered the consequences, I gotta just stay out of it. As long as don't nobody ask me shit. Now if the
That is
police
a
go up and
Mickey,
be like,
Kev.
if they
That
be
is
like,
being
Kev,
Mickey.
they be like, Kev, did you do it? I'd be like, no. They'd be like, we finna lock you up. I'd be like, it was him. That's the only way I'm telling. Other
It's
than
the
that, I'm gonna
same
stay
thing as
out of
being
it.
a Mickey, Kev. Like you saying, if it was person got Mickey, you would say something. But if they went and got the weed, and that would be Mickeyed weed. Like when I'm going to get weed, I'm
Ain't
going to
no
get
Mickey weed right
THC.
now. Ain't no
It is.
fentanyl
It's
on no weed.
fentanyl weed. There's definitely some fentanyl
Yes,
weed.
it is. Yes, it is.
You know
Yes,
what I'm
it
saying?
is. Yes, it is. Yes, they've been finding it in weed. Yes, it is.
I'm telling on your ass.
No,
I'm just trying
there's
to
no
get a regular,
fentanyl in the
normal
weed.
high,
Okay.
and you out
There's
here
no
All
trying
right.
to
fentanyl.
kill me.
Look it up.
You know how many people would be dead if fentanyl was in weed right
Look it
now?
up.
No, man.
Look
I'm not
it up.
looking that shit up.
Look it up.
It's like 90% of the crime in the community come from Garden Home's playground and shit. Like, what the fuck is dude talking about, man?
You stupid.
Let me get to my chat room. This dude said 90% of the crime in the city come from the like, damn. That's the goddamn. What's them gangsters in here? The Gambinos and shit is over there. Hold on, let me get to my chat room, man. Dion says I stay away from BS, Kev, because I know I'll get down on the nigga ass, but got too much to lose. That's definitely a way to look at it. He said, didn't nobody ask Courtney where she coming from?
Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying with my dumb teleprompter reading ass. I'm just
Exactly.
realizing, wait, you
Don't
shouldn't
read
be
it up.
reading this shit.
Just don't read it.
My bad, man. Shame on me.
Like,
Mama Jenkins, she said again, Outlaw family Master Lock is leaving, and this leadership didn't even fucking know. They said adios. Heard when Obama came here and visited, they agreed to stay here. Not only are they leaving, my sister home is across the street, I believe, and they just put a lot of money into that facility. So somebody done bought that building in that Center Street corridor and gonna change the neighborhood soon. Hopefully, I mean it's in need of it's that industrial corridor is. I don't know if people have ever gone and really looked at it and understand that at one point it was all open factories. People were actually employed there, and it's been vacant
money.
for 40 to 50 years, a lot of it. And so yeah, they're leaving. That's what I said. Now if somebody else is going to purchase this facility, that's cool. But what we don't need is for the city to buy that and make it another community center. If it's a couple things we don't need no more storefront churches. Shout out to churches, y'all. I love y'all to death. But we don't need every
Lay off the
business.
churches, man.
We don't need every business that go out of business on the block to become a church. And now you got 50 churches on the block with 16 people between them. Just make one church, y'all. Just get one church in the hood, because we need business in the community. We don't need another daycare, right? We don't need another daycare.
We always need daycares, man.
No, man, we got enough goddamn daycares. Every
Nigga in
business
the
on the
street,
block.
you gonna hit me, folks? What are you racing
The
behind me?
daycares don't bring the kind of revenue. We need revenue brought to our neighborhoods. Like you have to be able to generate tax revenue so the city can operate. If you got a bunch of poor people and they ain't paying shit, then you got to lean on the city. So yeah, I hope that neighborhood does change. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Y'all ain't gonna even like me. I'm not all that against gentrification at this point. Listen.
Hold on. Before you go further.
Yeah.
So you're with gentrification, but you gonna stand silent if you know that somebody killing somebody.
Exactly.
Okay. In my life, I've stood silent.
That's the question.
I'm answering. In my life, I've stood silent on several individuals who I know who had done some bullshit and I didn't go tell on them. And even if I would tell on them, I wouldn't say it on Facebook here tonight.
Okay.
So this is one of the questions that you won't never know what will happen until it happens to me. Right? You know what I'm saying? Now, if you sell my cousin some fentanyl and next week they come get you and you say, damn, he got him a new Hellcat. Yeah, I told on your ass. Yes, I did. But I still would never admit it and be like, what you talking about, man? I got a bonus at work. What did you talk about? Man, my wife gave me this for Father's Day. You will never know. I never let my left hand know what my right hand was doing, and that was a loaded question. That's why I didn't really want to answer it.
It was a loaded question.
Yeah, super
It
loaded.
was a loaded question. And I asked because, like, 9 people answered, right? and only one person said I would secretly tell. Only one person.
Was that me?
I had people. No, fucker.
Oh, okay.
So then, I had somebody talk about weak guys and we selling shit to our people. We hustling off our people. That wasn't even the fucking topic. But only that one person.
Right.
Only that one person.
Most people gonna lie anyways, because most of the people who said they wouldn't tell lying because they asked would tell. First of all, let's get that. If a motherfucker go out of his way to prove to you that he won't snitch, it means he's a snitch. He's a snitch.
Well, see, hold on.
He trying to throw you off.
So let me ask you: are they snitches or are they witnesses? Are they citizens doing their due?
Well, we got some snitches and some witnesses.
Because that's what.
What the fuck?
It's different. You do have some witnesses who then become snitches, but you have some snitches who wasn't there, but they tell to protect themselves. That's what you call a confidential informant. He ain't even in the shit, but he in the hood. He know what happened, so he gonna go to Officer Winarski and say, "Hey man, got the $200? Yeah, come on, talk to me, Lathon."
Hold on, why you use my name though?
Is your name Lathon? Damn, my fault.
Oh, I thought you said Lil Sean.
Oh no,
hold on, brother.
No. And even if I did know you was doing that, I wouldn't tell nobody, right?
Right.
Whatever.
No, let me say this. Let me say this because I want to get some feedback from the chat room on this. I said at this point, I'm really not against gentrification. I'm that mad about T-Rock getting killed. I'm that mad about T-Rock getting killed. I'm that mad about Yayo getting killed. That I'm not against gentrification. I'm really right now. I say let's gentrify.
If you knew who killed him, would you tell, Kev?
Once again, that's not a question I'm at liberty to answer in this capacity.
How is that going to stop the crime? How is that going to stop the victimization of the people, though?
Let somebody else tell.
That doesn't stop. You just moving the crime to a different area, aren't you?
Moving it to 53225, Kev.
Well, I'm moving it away from my house.
Hey, I'm moving it over
to you, Kev.
Call her.
Move it over here.
Call her. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, this is Dion, bro. What it do?
Peace.
What you want, man?
Hitting this highway, coming 41 north back to Milwaukee.
Okay.
But you know what? I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, man. Like, if somebody that I know sold somebody some drugs and it knocked them out, I mean, bro, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I ain't gonna even say that ain't got nothing to do with me. That really ain't got nothing to do with me. Now, Kev, as far as that gentrification, I kind of see where it works. And how I'm gonna tell you that the reason I see what you mean by how that works. If anybody ever been to any of these little small towns in Wisconsin, we use West Bend and Grafton, where I be at, predominantly. Mm-hmm. You can walk down the street and trip over now hiring signs. Like literally, it'll be 5 visitors in a row. Now hiring. White people gonna sustain. They gonna keep their whiteness going. You understand what I'm saying? So long as there's black people living in the inner city, because I remember when they first built Field over there on 27th Street. That's when I first moved up here from Chicago. That was a family sustaining job. Yeah. As long as black people still live in the inner city of Milwaukee, they gonna keep it broke. Madison don't want to give us our money. They go damn well. That's our money. That's our share revenue, and they don't give us our fair share of it because they got an agenda. You gotta understand though, these people got an agenda. They don't have a short-term goal like we have short-term goals. They've been implementing this since Governor Tommy Thompson.
Right.
Yes. Everything. Yes. You see they stopped the one train place over there on Talgo when they was going to be making those trains and stuff like that. And it wasn't even too much about Milwaukee. They still got the little train thing over there, but they sending them out of state. And it wasn't really about, because I don't know nobody working Talgo. You understand what I'm saying? Those jobs that people from out here, see Watson and Racine and James, they probably drive in Milwaukee every day. I noticed years ago, I never forget it. I used to work out on 107th Street, and every day around 4:30, I've seen a mass exodus of people that come in our inner city and leave our inner city.
Ozaukee County, Washington County, Waukesha County. You know what I'm saying? So long as they have black people living in the inner city of Milwaukee, they gonna do everything to keep us broke. If you think about it,
Right.
ain't no jobs in Milwaukee, man. You can't go for what? Fast food jobs. That ain't no family sustaining job. When you want a job, you got to go out to Grafton, West Bend, Franklin, South Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? But in the inner city of Milwaukee, you can't really go like you can't really catch the 27th Street bus and go be at work somewhere, or catch the whatever 60 or whatever because ain't no jobs in the inner city. And
Dion,
they doing that on purpose. Huh?
do me a favor. Give me a second. Ewok is saying the
Go
show.
ahead.
He said the show sounds like homemade transistor radio. Y'all let me know if y'all have an audio. If y'all can't hear the show clearly, can everybody hear the show clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you.
And that's that family cat.
Yeah, I heard it when I was on YouTube because I
Okay.
watch y'all on YouTube.
Okay. So he
Yeah.
said hang up the phone or something. I don't run the show through a phone, Ewok. So I don't know what you talk about, but everybody assume I'm on my phone.
Tell Ewok to trade in that prime code.
Oh, he
Yeah.
said Prime Code. But
And you know, and another thing, Kev, I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. I love Milwaukee. I'm like you, die hard. Milltown. You see all my pictures. I got big Milwaukee shirt on, represent Mill Crazy. But I noticed when even if you go up north, up here to Fond du Lac and the Twin Cities, Appleton, they look newer than Milwaukee do. Milwaukee look real old, man. I was in Arizona because you know I called y'all when I was at the airport. Arizona, nice, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? The street, I'm talking about like, say, for instance, if you on a street called Harrison, the street illuminates. You going down 27th Street, you got to squint your eyes to look and see if you on the right. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
every city, even when I went to Detroit, and they be talking bad about Detroit for years. But when you go downtown Detroit, it looks like, man, it looked like Epic Center down there. Beautiful. Beautiful.
right,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
you know
And
why?
what they
But you
do.
know why, Dion? Because they
Why?
already in the midst of gentrifying. They've already
Yeah,
started it.
yeah.
They've already
Yeah.
started it.
And so basically what they doing to Detroit is Detroit was one big city, but they cutting it up into slices. So now you got this part over here, this part over there, this part. And another thing about Detroit I noticed, it's a lot of Arabs there too. Because when we was in the hotel, I think that's an Iraqi, either the Iraqis or somebody, it was a refuge. That was one of the cities like how Minnesota got the Somalians there. That was one of the cities where the refugees went in Iraq.
Well,
And now they successful businessmen owning hotels and stuff like
what's
that.
the town?
You know what I'm
There's
saying?
a town there that has the largest mosque for I believe Arab Muslims in the Midwest. It's like the whole town is they've kind of just taken
Yeah.
over the whole, and they have the suit. There
Yeah.
was a mass shooting there. Like there was a mass shooting there. Was it? Oh,
Yeah.
that was here. That was here in Milwaukee. But yeah,
And you know, we've been living in America all our life, and we can't get nothing though. You know what I'm saying? We can't get nothing. But I'm about to hang up and let you go. Oh, girl won them little tickets off 860, man. You better watch her, kid. She ain't trustworthy. She be calling in the 860 radio, telling our secrets what we be talking about on Outlaw Radio, man. We
Anyway,
got an infiltrator in the midst.
they
That's
already know.
treasonous, Kev.
Let
Kev.
them know first. Why you hate?
That's treasonous, Kev. Yeah, you know treasonous. Y'all go and listen on YouTube, Kev. Love, man.
Peace,
And
peace.
love, boy, love, real love, son.
Peace,
All right,
peace.
bro. All right.
yeah, man.
I'm so happy I'm locked in with my people. I'm so happy that I talk to them and tell them
Hold on.
everything.
Courtney's trying to talk. Sean, y'all talking over each other. Courtney, go ahead.
I said I'm so happy I'm locked in with my people. I'm so happy I communicate with y'all every time I do something or something happens. You know what I'm saying? Like Dion think he's telling something. I hit my people as soon as I won the tickets immediately. And Miss Jenkins heard it. Mama Jenkins was on the line as well. Why you hating Dion? Dion a hater. He can't call in no more. He finna get kicked off this station too. You know what I'm saying? All the stations want you kicked off, Dion. You're on a thin rope, buddy.
Hey, Mama Courtney, she said, Courtney, Mama Jenkins said, how did you like seeing Stacey Abrams?
It was good. Stacey Abrams, she was a very good storyteller. It was a packed house. It was a really good event. I'm happy I went.
Okay. Now she had run for governor of Georgia a couple times and lost.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's her claim to fame,
Yeah,
right? Or she's
yeah,
just some kind of community organizer.
yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
don't. Okay. Okay. Mama Jenkins said I worked at
A
Briggs and
little
look
bit of
how
everything.
old.
She look at all that.
She said I worked at Briggs and look at how long the old Briggs stayed empty until they put apartments on top of the polluted grounds. Yeah, those brownfields. I learned that from Keith Terry. Once again, y'all let me know if the audio is off. It sounds good on my end, so I can't really tell. But Keith Terry told me
So you
about the.
breaking
I'm breaking up now.
up a little bit, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. I can go into it and look.
Are you good?
Okay. But no, so I get Mama Briggs, you're right, because these places
You
leave.
mean Mama Jenkins?
I mean, Mama
I said
Jenkins,
Mama.
they leave holes in our
Mama
community.
Briggs.
I said Mama Briggs. I was thinking Briggs and Stratton, what she said, because I'm trying to check my audio at the same time, y'all. Stop fucking with me. Quit fucking with me.
Can't
I'm
make them
trying
two
to,
things at once.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm trying to drive the car, people wrestling in the back seat. Put your ass down, man. I can't drive this motherfucker. He said, "My bad. I canceled it to my TV. That was the problem. Fuck Dion Steele for talking shit." I gotta love my Outlaw family, man. I love it, it's never a dull moment, man. This shit is what's up, man. What else did I have? I had once again, if you called in and you want to shout out the
We ain't
homie
done the
T Rock.
justification yet.
Okay, hold on. Let me talk to my people. If you want to call in and talk about T Rock or anybody that you lost, the number's 262-202-5131. Now you said you had something to add about the gentrification piece, right? Is that what you
Yeah,
asking me?
yeah. Because the reason gentrification works is because then white people call the police on your black ass.
Okay.
That's why gentrification works. They move in. If they see something that it ain't got to be a crime. If they think it's a crime, they're calling the fucking police to get your black ass up out of there. That's why gentrification works. It ain't just because, oh, we're going to move in and we're going to be nice on the block and we're going to speak to people. No, we're going to move in. We're already here. And when I see something that terrifies me, I'm calling Johnny Law.
Right. Well, I can tell you for a
So
fact,
if you talk
nobody
about gentrification and you want gentrification,
nobody talks to the police more than an elderly black homeowner. The old black people will tell on your ass, and they will tell you they finna tell.
Ooh.
I'm gonna call the
yeah,
police. I see y'all out here in this alley
because
every
they
day.
don't
That's right.
because they don't want them white people around them. So yeah, they gonna call the police. They don't want the white people moving in. They don't want your black ass tearing their shit up. So what they gonna do? They gonna call the police.
I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm ready for it to come on. Look, if it take, listen,
White people can
if
move
it take,
in, they
if
will.
it takes a couple white people to move in my neighborhood for police response to increase,
Call the police.
for structure to right. If that's what it takes, then goddamn, move on in, Bill. You bring your ass down here. Boy, you always have it smelling so good on the holidays. Now,
Hey,
what are you cooking? I'll be like, man, somebody give Bill a rib, man.
my
Give
block
Bill some
just in
old
the
English and some shoulder and have his ass. I seen those guys who moved in across the street. Get them, Bill. Call the police on their ass. Go ahead, Real.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, honestly, in the last 6 months, my block has progressively become more Hmong, and I'm honestly okay with it. Like they homeowners. I don't give a fuck who the homeowners is as long as they act with some sense.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah, I'm like, okay, shit. I was thinking about moving when motherfuckers doing donuts in the front yard and shooting, but I'm like, all right, if I just stay about another year or two, this gonna be little Hmong town and shit. My property value is gonna skyrocket.
Right. You just
So it is.
yeah, you just gonna have to,
And and when they see something wrong, what they gonna call the police.
That's
This
right.
shit, they came and told me when
How to
the dude,
English good.
the
But they
little
ought to
kids.
say black man dangerous. Shit.
Ewok, you on the line? You with us on the jack tonight?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's
Yeah,
cracking?
I was
peace,
just, I was
peace.
just, talking,
It wasn't me.
I was
It
just talking shit.
say
To,
that.
I was just talking shit to you, Dion. That was my fault. I had my TV on, didn't know what I was doing. Hey, but what you were saying earlier, Kev, man. about how the the old school attitude, like we used to get talked to, old school bring you to the side and say, you know what I'm saying, hey, young blood, man, you can do better than what you're doing, whatever. We got family history, this and that. You right on that shit. Them motherfuckers ain't listening to nobody trying to talk to them like that no more, bro, for real. And y'all seen that video when that little nigga, I think it was in North Carolina. He on the bus and shit with his pistol out on the bus driver and shit, man. And shit talking about, I dare you.
Two pistols, he had 2 pistols.
Yeah, so got his little bitch ass lit the fuck up, which he should have. Yeah, what do you do? Dion, what do you do? What you do in that situation, man? These motherfuckers ain't listening. They talking mumble mouth, raggedy ass, garbage ass shit. You gotta shoot that nigga. What choice you got? You shoot the shit out of him because he gonna shoot you.
Hey, you know what? And
yeah, I was wondering if he got hit because it was the grass.
Yeah, he got hit
there.
in the torso. Oh, he got hit. The bus driver got hit in the arm, and he got hit. And Ewok is crazy, man. I don't know where this shit comes from because this was my next talking point. I wish I could show y'all my shit. Like, this is my next talking point about the bus driver in North Carolina. Simply because we had this discussion here years back that did we want to arm the bus drivers? And I said, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Man,
bus drivers are at jeopardy, and so. But this is maybe why they need to. And like you said, little dog, habitual line stepper, for whatever reason, come on, and then they know this man put that fire on his ass. All the way off the bus. He was almost chased him home shooting at him. I'm like, damn, bus driver, you went too far and shit. Like,
and shit. The bus driver, you shot me. You shot me. He was like, motherfucker, you shot me. Nigga.
I don't know why they was dialoguing. Why didn't he just empty the rest of that shit into him?
No, man.
It looked like they knocked off. It looked like another person fell off the bus. Well, he fell off the bus.
They got this mentality, though, man, where they think it's sweet. I ain't talking over nobody, Emma.
No, you
ain't
good.
Trying to do that.
You good.
They got this mentality these days, man, where they just think everything's sweet. I didn't know he had 2 pistols and shit, but shit, 2, 3, whatever you got. Nigga, the bus driver had 1 too, nigga, and he wasn't playing with his. He wasn't trying to scare nobody or jack or talk shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They got this mentality where they just wake up and just be on earth. They just be roaming the earth like, oh, well, you up the dup, I got a gun, and I'm going to talk shit. Just how we roll and shit, man. This shit ridiculous how they mind state is these days. It's totally way off than another motherfucker. Motherfucker just say, yeah, well, you used to do shit when you was young, too. Right. Yeah, we did. Right. But this shit different, man. This shit is totally different. It's a whole new package.
It's very different. Yeah, it's very different. And you are right. But see, now this is why you hear me say I don't mind gentrification. Because what's the alternative? The alternative is one of us shooting the shit out of one of our own. Right? So it's like, hey man, y'all come get him. My father used to have that saying, come get him before I do something to him. Right, so come get it.
Isn't that we want other people to do it?
Yeah, that's a slippery slope, though. You know what I'm saying?
I would rather
I kind of understand where you're coming from and shit, but we just can't give up the whole motherfucking ranch. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
We've been giving up the ranch too many times. Every time, like, well, we want somebody else to fix it and shit, man.
Well, I'm not. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up because I ain't moving. I don't gotta move. Financially, I'm okay.
I
don't gotta move.
But you said move these white people in so that they can get rid of the problem.
That's not what I said, but I can see how you would draw that conclusion.
That's what gentrification is, though.
That's not what I said. That's not what gentrification is. Courtney, I can't hear you, so I want to give you a chance to say what you did. What was you trying to say, Courtney?
I'm saying where you think they going, Kev? They coming out here where we at, and they slowly making their way out here anyway, fucking shit up slowly. So it's like gentrification. Okay, my mom on 25th and Center, so we gonna move a couple white folks into those areas, move a lot of niggas out. They coming these ways. Now they fucking up shit out here. So then
man, shit, I'm surrounded by Barada properties.
You know, I mean, where are we going?
And that's when shit start getting crazy.
Yeah, so where's niggas going? Kev, well, like really, even with
first, let me clarify this statement that I made. I said if it take for a few white people to move in the neighborhood for us to get faster police response, for us to get better structure in the community, for them to say, okay, we got some white people over there, we need to really patrol like we should.
Oh, and they really white people.
I said if it took a few of them, I was with it. I never said I want some white people to come over here so they can tell for me. I never said that, right?
But then
They don't stop at a
they
few though.
also
You
be
know that.
hood white
You know
folks.
they want the whole shit. They got a history of wanting everything. They don't just come and get knowledge. They don't come to learn. They come to take.
Well, I
That's
tell
what
you
they
what,
do.
let me put it to
They
you
want
like
the
this
whole
then.
shit.
Let me put it to you like this then. I would rather live in a neighborhood of all white people than live next door to the type of motherfucker that killed my homeboy. The
But what if
motherfucker
it's
that done
them
killed
type
my
of black
guys.
folks
I'd
though,
rather
Kev?
I'd rather white people come in and take the whole goddamn neighborhood than to have this psychopathic son bitch riding around the neighborhood loose.
But what if
If
you
that's
got a
where I
white
gotta
folks
Just
put it,
fuck
like
him
that,
up. Just
Kev?
fuck him up and get it on over with.
fuck
Goddamn it.
everybody
Don't
with
let the
him.
white man come
It's
take
a
it.
lot of you niggas with him, so y'all got to go too. A lot of y'all, his homies, y'all will be wearing the t-shirt talking about free his ass. Y'all gotta go too.
But
I
this is
gotta
what I was saying
So
a few weeks
my
ago.
question, though, KD, why is it that we have to wait until others move in before
once again,
we
that's not
eradicate?
what I said. That's not what I said. But I get why you're asking me
Well,
that, but we ain't
but
running with that because that's not what I said.
But
That's
like
not what
I
I said.
said, Kev, what if the white folks is raggedy white folks? Now some white folks that moved
Well,
on
they
from my
ass gotta
mama's
go
block.
too. I don't
You know what I'm
discriminate
saying? And they
against
just raggedy
bullshit.
white folks. They ain't
Well,
like they
get rid
good
of their
white
white
folks.
ass
it's
too. You
hard,
think I
man.
won't call the police on a white man? I
Yeah.
probably call them on him quicker. Like Bill over here doing crystal meth. Y'all better hurry up.
Damn.
They got a whole lab in their basement because he ain't gonna come back like you snitched on me, boy. I mean, nah, man, come on. Real, you was trying to ask me a question. Go ahead.
Oh well, no, I was saying this is what I was saying a few weeks ago when we find ourselves between a rock and a hard place. Like some of us are preaching against additional police presence, saying that we throw too many of our people in jail and shit like that. And I was saying, what is the alternative? Because if we try to stand on them, some of those interactions are gonna bubble up to where we might have to find ourselves, coming down the battle with some of these motherfuckers. So now you faced with either having the cops do what the fuck they paid for, or us forming some sort of militia trying to clean up the block, and we doing what the fuck the cops is paid for, or shooting our own. So it's a hard, we in a bad position because neither one is sweet because niggas just need to get a clue.
Thank you. And I think you best articulated what I was trying to say, right? It's not that I want somebody to come in and do the work for me, but I'd rather not have to shoot a 15-year-old for fucking with my car. I'd rather not have to have a gunfight at a gas station with a 19-year-old
Right.
who was on. I'd rather it be the police who come and get him, and whatever happened between them happens. I'd rather it
Right.
be them as opposed to me doing it, fucking up my nice, regular, everyday Joe life. So it's not
Right.
really about
Right.
me waiting on some. It's not really about me waiting on somebody to come and do something for me. It's about I choose self-preservation at all times. I'm one of them people who believe at the end of the day, you got to CYA. You got to cover your ass, right?
Right.
And my mom used to say, every man for himself and God for us all, root little pig or die po, right? That means you got to handle your business and take care of your shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that means if
That's
my
what that means.
alternative, if that alternative, my alternative is okay, a couple white hipsters want to move into this neighborhood because it's a prime real estate and it's a great neighborhood, as opposed to little shooting them who every goddamn night is shooting up the block and I can't put my shit in the backyard without them. I say bring them on, bring the Hmong on, bring the Latino on, whoever the fuck want to come to the neighborhood and function properly. But
Right.
you won't get no excuse to fuck me up just because you black. No, you can't tell on me. I'm a brother. You don't want to throw me to the wolves, do you?
Police just shot an 11-year-old boy, not once, twice. 11-year-old boy, man.
Right.
Shot him in the shoulder and in the stomach, man. Just shot him, man.
Yeah.
With his hands in the air.
Okay.
Man, and shit, because he called for assistance because of a situation.
I seen that.
Now, this
It's
motherfucker
tragic.
come in, first thing he shot was an 11-year-old. This little boy looked like a little Teddy Graham. If you didn't know that was a little boy, man, come on, man.
Right.
He looked like motherfucker Teddy Ruxpin and shit, man. And the police shot this
Teddy
little boy,
Ruxpin.
man.
You're right,
Come
Ewok.
on, man.
But you know what else? It's some niggas here who done killed plenty 5-year-olds. Every day we have an incident where a little kid is getting shot and murdered.
Yeah.
So
Well, I understand that. You know, the whole situation is fucked up.
Right,
You know
that's
what I'm
why
saying?
that's why Real
said
Rail said that, Ernest. That's why Rail said we in between. Matter of fact, I should have named the show A Rock and a Hard Place.
Yeah.
Because it's a goddamn conflict. And is Sean still on the line?
You know I'm on the line, Joe.
Right.
Okay. I might just be cool, right? I might. Don't tempt me with a good time, goddamn it. Listen, Sean ice skated. We allowed Sean to do verbal gymnastics on us. Because I said, if you in the neighborhood and you see a crime, then he tried to flip and ask me the question. If you was in the neighborhood and you seen the crime happening, you got your people out there. No, they said we could leave.
Everybody.
You said no, they said we could leave and we didn't have to say nothing. So how's you servicing the community if you just seen a little kid get shot down and you say, y'all, don't say nothing?
I ain't never listen.
What?
Real,
What'd you say?
Real shit, right? Real shit. I have never witnessed nobody get shot while I was doing my job.
It was coming. It was coming if you'd have stayed. You'd have seen it eventually. Where you was at, you would have eventually seen some shit, Sean. You know that.
I didn't, though.
All right. Just stick to that.
Right? Right. I didn't. I didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Look, I put a post up last week or 2 weeks ago, though. If you around here selling fentanyl, don't be around me.
Right.
Because I'm telling on your punk ass, and I'm waiting on you to get out or whatever. You want to come see me? We gonna deal with that shit, right? I ain't got a problem with you eating, but bro, you're not eating. You're killing people, and eventually it's going to come to my house. I'm going to be affected. Sooner or later, I'm gonna be affected, and before that happens, I knock your ass off, or I lock your ass up. Fuck you.
Or
you trying to kill people, bro.
Or what if I let the people who get a $800 billion allocation yearly, what if I let them do that and I just go to work? How about that? How about I don't have to meet nobody at the playground and say, I'm gonna whoop your ass for selling fentanyl. I'm Mr. T. I pity the fool. What if I just was Kevin and just went to work and shit?
Don't nobody want to do nothing extra, Kev. The other day, I pulled in the parking lot, and when I pulled up with my homeboy, and as we parked, another car came in the parking lot, smacked the shit out my neighbor's car. I'm like, damn, am I high? Did you see that? Did we see that? So, I'm trying to get the plates and shit. I'm trying to record, and then they smash off and shit. I'm like, shit, let me go in the house and go tell my neighbor. He was like, folks, you a good ass neighbor, Jesus. I would have said shit. I just would have mind my business. White nigga, like that's what the fuck? Don't nobody want to no more. Like,
right. And I once again, I don't understand why we act so crazy about it. Cause listen, motherfuckers been snitching, man. Listen, it is the universal get out of jail free card. I told you this last week, and I had to looking at my neighborhood with a real kind of critical, mindful eye. I realized that I got a homeboy somewhere, don't know his name, don't know his address, but he's a snitch, and he's been snitching for years, right? And I got a cousin somewhere, don't know his name, don't know where he lives, but he rides in the car with the police sometimes and point motherfuckers out. He ducked down in the back seat and be like, no, go down a little bit further. It's the third one by the alley. That's his way of staying free, right? But he'll tell you, man, rat ass niggas, I can't stand a motherfucking snitch. I can't stand them motherfuckers. If you followed his ass around, especially if he's still in the game, if you followed him around and put a GPS on his car, you'd be like, damn, why is he meeting somebody on a park on the east side? Well, is he creeping on his girl? Pull up. That motherfucker be with offer to the Renarski like a motherfucker. Probably got a notebook and everything, like I drew a picture of him here. This is snitching has always been we go all the way back to look at Nat Turner. What happened? What ruined Nat Turner? A snitch.
Yeah, I remember that motherfucker snitch.
Right. A nigga who said, Massa, I know where he's be. Oh, we got one who knows how to get the nigger. And they probably killed him too. How did you know? You were with him. Killed his ass too. Right? Like, damn. Right. So snitching been in effect, man. It's the photographer who provided all the iconic imagery of Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement and all these photos. He was an FBI informant.
Yeah.
Tell me about no snitching.
A lot of slaves got free for telling too. Like some of us be like, well, my people got free. Some of them got free by telling on somebody who was gonna run away. That was one of the things you can get your freedom by telling.
Exactly. So I said all that to say, maybe we should just flip the script in our communities and start to adapt. We're gonna call them the Sean rules from now on. I'm telling on your ass. You ain't gotta ask me.
I'm following the Sean. Come on.
Hold the
Nigga,
fuck up,
I'm
bitch.
gonna have to follow the Sean
Hold
rules
the
if you
fuck
keep
we
on
not
now.
calling it that.
I'm gonna have you don't
We
want me
ain't
to
doing all
follow
that shit.
Sean rules on your ass. You better stop it. You know what that means. Don't make me do it.
Hold the fuck up. That's not what we gonna call it.
Oh, the fuck ain't. Oh,
The Sean Moore rules, right?
Right.
shit. Can you say my whole fucking name though?
We dedicating it to you. You gonna get a statue in the park one day, man.
Fuck, I don't want no statue in the park.
They have a
No
statue of
motherfucking bird come shit on my
It's gonna be in the
on my
hood.
head.
have a statue of him in the park with his phone up to his ear like this and shit.
That shit ain't funny, Cordy. You laugh a little bit too hard now.
We gonna throw it in the hood where the shit be happening.
Damn.
Throw it right
You laugh a
there.
little bit
That
too
father
hard,
like
Cordy.
27th center.
No, man. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But that's what you just said, though, Sean. You just said that out loud. Like, I don't give a fuck. Don't sell that shit around me because I'm telling. If you don't like it, put some blood in my
Don't
mouth.
do it.
Meet me on Franklin.
Don't do it.
It's
Look,
all right.
look.
We
I
gonna call
done
it the
warned
outlaw
motherfuckers,
rules.
right? I had to bury Pookie. I had to bury Steve. I had to bury Mo. Well, we didn't bury him yet. But I've buried more than a handful of friends due to fentanyl, right? And they didn't know that they were buying fentanyl, right? They thought they was buying shit, some cocaine, heroin, right?
Yeah, we just gonna gloss over that part. That he just went to get him some
I'm not-
heroin. It was
He
Tuesday.
just,
Like,
want a little dope, man.
Go with that.
right, he just wanted to shoot up, man.
I wasn't on the fuck, but
They
when
don't
they
want to die.
purchased their cocaine or their heroin, they weren't expecting to die.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Right.
You know, people that use that shit, they know the risk with that shit, and they know a penny out of that shit can kill multiple people. So when you use that shit, you telling me that you don't give a fuck about nobody that buy that shit. You don't care about these people's lives. So why the fuck should I care about your life?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. We'll call it the Sean Moore rule.
Oh, motherfucker, we're not gonna do that though.
You authored it. You just authored
You know,
it.
I
You
was
just authored it.
I was watching an
I've
interview the
offered a
other
lot of
day.
shit that we ain't called the Sean Moore rule. We ain't gonna start now.
I'm trying to get him into some shit, y'all. You like, I'm not fucking with you, Cam.
Bullshit. Not gonna happen.
we call it the SM rules for short. Nobody will know what it means.
No, listen, I'm a citizen now.
Oh, okay.
I have grandkids, man.
Right.
I told my son, do not be around a motherfucker hustling like that. I don't want them hustling. I thank God that they not, right. But if they was doing that shit, you can't call me pop. What should I do, motherfucker? You know what you gonna do. You take your ass to jail because I can't protect you on that. I'm not even participating in that. I'm not covering for that, man. I'm not.
Got you. Now I got a couple different things here. First of all, Rel, you was trying to jump in. I want to make sure everybody's heard. So
I was just saying, I saw an interview not too long ago with somebody who used to serve, and they was like, actually, it was like, man, I ain't trying to kill my clientele. He was like, but the unfortunate thing, he ain't say unfortunate. He was like, the crazy thing is when somebody dies, they want, like, there's actually people out there who's looking for fentanyl. And they're looking for the shit that just killed their friend. I want that shit. I know that's the good shit because I know that it killed them. So like
that's a killer.
Yeah, so he was saying, honestly, a lot of the death would be the best publicity and the best shit for business because now everybody trying to come to basically see if they could slay the dragon or if they could survive it type shit. So some people is looking for fentanyl and they know what they buying.
Go to the vending machine at the Cogs building and get a bunch of test strips and just start because I'm being serious because they pass out clean needles, right? They go out and give prostitutes condoms. So just go buy a bunch of the test strips and go in areas where you know drug usage is high. Like you have these women who go on the track and talk to prostitutes and be like, girl, you throwing your life away. Don't give Silky all your money. And you have these people who go and all this kind of stuff. Do the same thing with the test strips. Go through the community where it's, put up stations. You put them in a vending machine where don't nobody want to be seen getting them. Should have just put them in machines in the neighborhood where people can go and get them, and that would bring some of it down. Now, I didn't know this because Mama Jenkins just told us Sean had a birthday. Happy belated birthday, she
Happy
said.
birthday,
Oh,
Sean.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday to the big
Thank y'all,
homie.
thank y'all, thank y'all.
For sure, for sure. Gemini season.
Yeah.
So you what, 60 what?
Here, Kev,
What
go.
you say, motherfucker?
I mean, I meant to say, how old are you? But never mind. Yeah, you out here with a cane gang banging.
Ah,
Happy birthday,
I
man.
told you I'm a citizen.
Right.
I'm not a gangbanger. I'm a citizen.
Okay.
For sure, for sure.
Duly noted, as they say. Ewok said, what if the seller bought already had fentanyl in it? They didn't know either. Well, that's why they got to go get the test strips. But you're right. Because I get what you're saying. And see, and Sean, that's the perspective that even I think Rail was trying to say is if I'm just hustling and it's just every day for me to go get my sack, re-up, and then do what I do, and then I get a hold to a hot pack and I don't know it. But I done flipped this whole sack, and now 2 days later, it's 12 people dead. Well, you're first of all,
Don't
you're
work like
guilty.
that.
It's guilt by association because you actually are doing the shit. Even if they don't die, you're still selling death in the community, which makes you counterproductive. So you already in it, cuz, as he said in Friday. You already in it, cuz. Ain't no backing out now. I ain't know. Well, you know that shit don't bring no happiness and no constructive progressiveness to the community.
I mean, man, I guess that like, and I dig that what you saying, but that's a matter of perspective too. Because honestly, shit, there's people selling chicken wing dinners with a big ass cup of Kool-Aid. That's technically death, selling death.
Damn, you went there with the shit? Like you
I'm just saying, it's a matter of perspective. If we telling people they selling death, the candy lady selling death because
fentanyl a little bit different.
I mean,
Come on, like fentanyl is a little bit different
That's
from
a instant death.
right. This ain't necessarily fried chicken and yams, right? Like we talking like eyes rolling over
I
in their
mean,
head.
they both hustling, they both hurting the community. One is just hurting them a whole lot sooner.
I tend not to call on the chick selling chicken wings though. I don't call it. Hey, it's a lady on 25th. She cooked with shortening and she sold out. She's selling nothing but cholesterol in the
And
community.
I don't think she got her license.
Right. They gonna laugh at me like, motherfucker, we coming to get you for wasting our time. You be on the porch when we get there. This is complicated. Listen, like I said, the only thing you can do is have an emotional reaction, which is what I'm having by seeing my homeboy shot down. Yeah, yo, the Don,
Understandable.
T-Rock. I'm right now ready to embrace gentrification because in my mind, there's a part of me that's saying, you niggas ain't gonna never learn. And y'all ain't gonna never stop this bullshit. You don't miss your water until your well run dry.
I just look at it from a business standpoint. It's gonna happen. So if you can position yourself and your family to profit from the shit, I mean, I look at it from a business standpoint. And if you are a landlord and you got a bunch of broke ass tenants who barely pay their rent, or you could renovate that bitch and then get some upper echelon people in there that's gonna pay more and pay on time. It's not rocket science as to what moved to bust. So I look at it when you look at Milwaukee, this is prime location. It's right off the lake, it's close to Chicago. Like they've been licking their chops for this area, and that's why they trying to bleed us and starve us out. But on the flip side of that, if we ain't doing shit with Milwaukee, a lot of it is because we ain't allowed to. But the only sensible thing is at the end of the day, you want to make money. And you're gonna do what the fuck it takes to make money. Even if it's move broke people out and rich people in. You're running a business, and Milwaukee is a business. Well, any city is a business type shit.
Well, once again, here I go with the racist part of me. This is how I know I'm a true American. This is how I know, the racist part of me says, we come through here, we want to build a train depot so we can move goods from one point to the other. And you got some people with some tents and some campfires, and they run around, they ain't doing shit. They just got, they got some little mud huts. And I say, nah, man, we trying to get money. This big business. And they say, but it's our land. I say, so? And we run their ass off and build our train station and keep it pushing. And that's what America basically
That's
did when they said
yeah,
manifest destiny. Go west,
yeah,
young man. They went out
yeah.
through there, and them Native Americans was like, hold on, this is our village. No, it ain't, motherfucker. This is Utah.
Trail
No,
of
it ain't. This
Tears.
Montana. What does this Montana you speak of? You'll figure it out.
Right.
Trail of Tears, goddammit.
Trail of Tears.
And it
Yeah.
wasn't fair, and it was inhumane, but ain't nobody complaining about being able to ride on the expressway. That's what he said in Black Dynamite. He said, everybody want a steak, but they don't want to see the cow get killed. And so I feel like that's where we at in Milwaukee.
Like
I know
even the
people like, what the
freeways
fuck is
that went
Kev
through
talking about?
the freeways that went through Bronzeville and Milwaukee. That's 43
Tore the
type
heart out the
shit.
community.
You know what I'm
Tore the heart
saying?
out of it. And it's the same in every city. Milwaukee's not unique. This is not, we not the only, hey, people, I'm leaving. Where are you going? Right? Well, there's no city where the black community ain't fucked up. Period. Point blank, I should say.
I've been talking to a lot of people though that's like they've been calling in, trying to get Milwaukee benefits, but they done moved out to Madison. And like after talking to about 4-5 black folk that have said they moved out to Madison, I'm like, what's going on in Madison? Like I said, there's a lot of, I can't ask that on the state phone. Like, is it a lot of niggas out in Madison? But I was like, do you get a lot of funny looks out there? They're like, no, man, it's sweet. The Section 8 is beautiful. They gonna find you a spot. It's beautiful, man. I could come outside and ain't gotta have my strap. People ain't driving crazy through the street. Like the way these motherfuckers sold Madison, I was like, God damn, maybe I need to shift. But then I'm like, nah, I'm staying by the lake. But they was like, no, it's a college town. It's real nice. It's diverse. They were like, once you get out of Milwaukee, you gonna see the difference between being in Milwaukee.
If you live in Milwaukee, you from here, you should know that. That's always been the case. We know. I mean, have you ever been out of town somewhere and it was nice and lovely and you was like, wow, look at it, so developed. And
when I went to Minnesota,
you
I
wake
was
up
like,
on
damn.
the expressway coming home and see Milwaukee skyline and be like, this some bullshit. That happens all the time. But guess what?
All the fucking time.
Guess what? We got not one, not two, but 3 new skyscrapers. That skyline is going to get developed because, like Rail just hit on, the north side is prime real estate. It's in almost every direction. You 15 minutes off the lake at the most. You're 5 minutes from any kind of expressway. You're 10 minutes from downtown, right? You're 15 minutes away from Miller Park, whatever the fuck it is now. Family Stadium. I don't even know what the shit is now. American
I still
Family
call it
Field.
Miller Parkway.
Right. That's black people we still call it Miller Park, right?
Right.
So what I'm saying
I know
is,
it changed.
and this is where they ran off and left this real estate when open housing was passed. And then they realized we made a fucking mistake. We should have kept our shit down there and made their asses move out here. Right. And so that's what they are going to do is reclaim this. You got a $500 million stadium sitting 10 minutes away from the projects. How long you think that's gonna last?
Right.
Are they gonna tear the stadium down or the projects down? Which one's going first?
3 minutes away. The ones, what is that? Highland? What's
Hillside.
That? Right there. Hillside. Yeah, that's just like that's a walk right around the corner. Quick walk.
Yes. I worked a couple years. I worked a couple years in Hillside. Hillside is hillsiding. Trust me. It is what they say it is. I worked down there. I made a point. I'm getting the fuck up out of here for 5:30. I'm leaving. Like I'm gone. Because it was real. And people down there was of a certain kind of mentality where it's like, you know what? Ain't no talking this motherfucker off this tree. Because like you just said that, Rare, where they'll tell you, because like I was a job coach. So cats used to tell me, man, Mr. Barnes, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it real with you. I want to work, but I get SSI. So that's gonna reduce what I get, right? So if you can find somewhere I can work maybe 1-2 days a week, don't got really do nothing that serious, then I jump on that. I'd be like, so you want a job where you work 12 hours a week? Like, am I supposed
to? A lady cussed me out clean out the other day, cried on my phone, told me she was about to kill herself because she was mad she was only getting $23 in stamps and didn't know that unemployment reports their benefits to us. So how y'all counting unemployment as income? It's like, what the fuck? Is it coming to your house? I'm like, ma'am, even if you say your mama help you pay your rent, you got to report that shit as income, and it's going to affect your benefit amount. Like, dude, she lost her mind, got the crying, said she was gonna kill herself, all kind of crazy ass shit, and I
Over
felt
some
bad
food
for her.
stamps.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get. Hey, well, maybe I can give you 211. I got numbers to food pantries. Like, motherfuckers get hopeless, but then they don't want no help because they feel they above certain help. I ain't going to no food pantry. That food's stale. Okay, you just said you was about to starve and die, but now you don't want to eat no stale food. Like shit, But yeah, man, like you said, they a lot of them be entitled, and then a lot of them don't want to hit a certain threshold because it's gonna. Like people are built to be scared to not need assistance.
Right. Well, that's the systemic nature of it. It's a result of the systematic nature of it. Ewok says, I don't think it's enough black homeowners to stop it. I'm surprised it's taking so long to get rid of the black folk. Well, there surprisingly
It's
are a
chess.
large number. There's a large number of black homeowners that are still on the north side. So that's I think people might be surprised that it's still some homeowners. There's a lot of renters, but no, I mean even with that, if you're a homeowner, all I do is just drive up your property taxes. That's the
Right,
quickest way to
and
get rid
that's
of
what's
you.
happening.
And over the past few years, homeowners have been. Some people got 80% increases, 80%
My shit done jumped
increases in their
exponentially.
property taxes, right? And you know what? You know what? The property tax levy funds our schools. It funds our police. It funds our services. A lot of what they draw in terms of public service comes from the property tax levy, and even they was able to even leverage it to get the train. Those kinds of those incremental funds, they come from the property tax levy. We can borrow against it. Somebody tell me what the fuck is going on with the train. I like, is the train popping? I've heard all this stuff about the summer coming. I ain't heard them say nothing about the hop. I don't know what's up with the toy train that Barrett left for Mayor Johnson to play with. I hope Mayor Johnson be in his office with a little joystick driving his train around the city. Like, oh, this is so fun. Because it
I
ain't
mean,
good for shit
it don't
else, right?
rectangle, don't it? I mean, it
right,
don't.
right. I think they got a room down there where they all go and play with it sometimes. You want to go in there and play with the train? Hell yeah, dog. Driving the motherfucker. I know I'm full of shit. But yeah, man. Look, I put an article up too before because we're getting short on time as usual. I put up an article also about there's a movement to get rid of police dogs. And this is something we've stated a long time ago as black men, that how traumatic is it for you as a black man to be running from the police and they set the dogs loose on you, right? That is so symbolic. It was almost like when they was at the wall and I had put the pictures up of the white men on the horses beating the Mexicans at the border on the horses.
Yeah.
It's like when they come riding on the horses now in the inner
And the
city.
Haitians.
Yeah. And I know it's needed. I was watching this whole melee at Riverside High School where the kids went buck and they had to bring in the police. And I was just hearing KRS-One in my head from Sound of the Police saying officer, overseer, officer, overseer, officer, overseer. And I wasn't even involved. I was just looking at this white man on his horse, kind of herding Negroes around. Can't go over here, go over there. And I said, damn. That kind of triggered me. So I think, and a lot of these dogs are vicious and trained to tear your black ass up.
Yeah.
A long time ago, one of my first jobs, I was a utility clerk in Pick and Save in Brown Deer, right? And I was about 16 or 17 and shit. And Brown Deer police came in the store because there was a disturbance. They brought the dog. Why? I don't know. But I know that dog seen my black ass standing there by the counter and went crazy. I'm talking about the dog was cool and collective. He came in. As soon as he seen me, it's like he wanted to taste blood. I'm sitting here like, hey man, get this damn dog. And they're like, well, you just the Brown Deer cops are telling me you just move to a different go in the aisle or something. I'm like, dude, that dog ain't react to nobody until he seen the first black man, and then he went crazy. So I've long been a proponent of saying, let's get rid of these goddamn police dogs.
The
Only
white
use
dog.
them in emergency rescue situations. We don't need no, because if I'm running from the police and and the dog, I'm fighting the dog. I mean, I killed that damn dog. Then they charge you like you murdered a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
They're gonna charge you like you murdered a human. You're getting a
Mhm.
life sentence for killing that dog. If you hit the dog, that's assault to a
To officer. And
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
get rid of the
fucking
dogs.
What's the alternative
nah,
though?
fuck that.
they finna hit us with them robot police
That's
dogs.
what I was about to say.
Right,
Because
they
you know
finna say-
shit. You know they always backdoor us with shit. So we vote against getting rid of natural dogs, and they gonna have the robot dogs that the gun pop out their ass.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah. I'm gonna
fuck my
take us
whole day up,
Throw
bro.
some water on
some
that
shit.
He said throw some water on it.
Hey, that's a good one. Keep it
short
yeah.
shit out.
Might work out.
They already got them in some states. I seen them.
Yeah, they working with it. They're working that technology. But you know, real is just like gentrification, what you said. It's gonna happen
It's
anyway.
coming. It's coming.
It's coming
And the
anyways. No
drone
matter,
police. You gonna
you
be
know.
policed by drones and shit. Motherfuckers gonna be in a desk in an office somewhere with visors on their eyes, just telling you where to fucking go through a flying drone with
Yeah, I
guns and
mean,
lights.
you know, Big Brother is watching. It's already a camera in every damn street light. I know some of these dudes who be in the streets thinking they doing the shooting, and it's like, man, we did that shit. Dog, that shit was on Fox 6 News. That's you, bro. That's your car. Like, where the fuck was the camera? In the street light, right?
Right.
Right. And you
Right.
talking about I wasn't even there. They like, oh, this ain't you. You got the same jacket on right now. Damn. Who snitched on me?
Mhm.
The street light did, motherfucker. And the Sean Moore rule was in effect. Um,
And you throw
I'm sorry, Citizen Moore, the Citizen Moore law, right? We're gonna bring that in. Ewok said them dogs ain't trained to stop. You never see one obey nor get told to stop. Well, you know, that's what I'm saying. They'll tear your ass up. And I mean, but y'all just brought up a good point. So what's the alternative? Right? So now y'all don't want the dog, so we got this robo droid coming through the building, like zzz, and
Mhm.
he ain't gonna stop. He gonna tear the door down. You know, RoboCop is around the corner.
Yeah.
Damn. But that's why, once again, I want to be in an area where I ain't got to deal with no goddamn robo police dog. It's you habitual line steppers that got the neighborhood hot. I need for you to move. Let
Right.
Bill or Tito or Fong Wong move in. I know it's racist. I don't know no Hmong name. I say Fong Wong. I'm sorry. They don't talk to me. They don't talk to me over here.
little motherfuckers don't jump you. Why?
Right. Well, you know, I had a really racist response to that, and I'm not gonna say it. See, I'm getting better. I'm growing. I caught myself. I was about to say
What
some
the hell
real
out of
racist shit behind that. Like, damn.
Yeah, still.
No, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it.
You
I
want
ain't
to let
gonna
it
do
out? Okay.
Nah, I'm gonna hold it. I'm
Okay.
gonna hold it in.
Might as well. You already must you like all that shit.
I don't want to. I don't want to offend my future neighbors.
Right. They my
Like,
neighbors
"Ooh, I
right
know
now.
many y'all don't like us. I heard you do joke about me. I want y'all to know I'm your
You
friend.
already offended.
Right.
You already offended them.
My bad, y'all. My bad. My
No, it ain't the
my Vietnamese brethren and sisters. Yeah. So I love pho. It's my favorite shit. I love pho.
Great, man.
I sound like
wow.
I sound like an old
Hey,
racist
some-
white man. Like I love black people. I got
I
a
love
lot.
chicken.
Heard.
I love fried chicken. It's my favorite food. Right. What's going on with the 80-year-old actors having babies?
Yeah. Hoo-ha.
De Niro 79 and Pacino is 83, and they both said, "Hey, I got a baby on the way."
Maybe they know something we don't.
Yeah, I mean they're rich, so you know there's no telling how the baby was conceived.
My mama said them kids gonna come out like Benjamin Button.
Oh
They
Lord,
gonna come out old.
Oh,
She said
what?
old people should not be doing that, making old babies. She said the baby's gonna have problems. So we gonna see. I want to see them.
well the
look.
mothers are young. It's the daddies that's
Right.
old.
I know, but still, that she said that mean the sperm. Oh, she said the sperm be moving like that. She said it's old people sperm.
Damn.
So
Wow.
we gotta
So
see
the
what
sperm has Parkinson's and shit. Like
right.
I'm done. I just died. I'm done.
That's what she said. So we got
you
to
done did the goddamn Michael J. Fox head bob and shit. Like damn.
That was worse than my Hmong joke. You crazy, Ralph.
It
You
really
crazy.
was.
You crazy.
That was the head bob and
What is
shit.
wrong with y'all?
No. Look, first of all, I think that's something that your body creates over and over. So I don't know that if your body can still make it, that it's old as you. Like if you 35,
Burn
it's 35.
it ain't lose its energy, so it's just
Well,
Hey man,
obviously
they
not.
be
If it
taking them stem
obviously not if it
cells and shit.
impregnated a lady. I mean, if it worked, how old could it really be?
I
You
don't know, man.
saying it took it longer to get there? Like they took
Right now,
3 days? Like, you know, yeah, we'll get there. Nah, man.
look, we gotta see how these kids turn out. That's all I want to see them out. They looking old,
Nah,
they look
and you know
young,
what?
they
My
looking
daddy was
tired.
40 years old. My daddy was 40 years old when I was born.
Oh,
And
word?
so, yeah, yeah. So I don't, and I got an uncle. My grandmother was in her 50s when he was born.
Shit. I had one at 38. I was depressed as fuck too. Like, man, I thought by 40, I was gonna have an empty nest and clothing be optional around this motherfucker. And I got a
Damn.
2-year-old.
Yeah, you keep your drawers on. You got a 2-year-old. Welcome. Close your robe, nigga. Oh man, that's crazy. You know what? I love kids, man, and I've said to my wife plenty times, but she would cut me off for the quick. Like, who gonna carry it? Not me. I'm not fucking with you no more on that. Like, you done got me before. You got me a couple times. You done. It ain't
You
gonna
know,
happen to me.
you say that, Kim, because like that old nigga, the 55-year-old, he still be trying to date. I'm like, what you want? You want sex? You want friendship? What do you want? He was like, I want to date. I want to date with intention. I'm just like, I can't see it. I got kids. Your kids grown, but seeing you being older, saying that you would have more kids, maybe some old niggas just be into kids like that. I don't know. Thanks, Kim.
Okay, and thank you for referring to me as an old nigga. Like I've always wanted to be called that. So thank you. You old niggas, right? Like, like all right.
Yeah,
Babies. Like, okay.
yeah. I'm not understanding Courtney tonight.
You old dusty niggas. You talking about they want a relationship with their old ass. Get your old ass somewhere
No,
and sit down.
I just don't see them wanting to be
Damn,
step
Courtney.
parent. If you 55, no, Sean, look. If you 55, your kid's grown. I just don't understand why you want to date a 35-year-old with kids in first and second grade. I mean, maybe yes, it's me, so I understand that part. But I
Okay.
know I didn't want to raise nobody kids when my kids grown. Like, ooh, 4-year-old.
But you don't know how you gonna feel when you 55. He may be looking at it like some of the greatest years of my life, because my memory of my kids being young are very fond memories. I was the daddy who loved having little ones. Like we going to the park, we doing all kinds of fun shit. I just be having more fun than them sometimes. But now my kids are getting older. I say it would be nice to have one or two more, right? But I wouldn't want to have them randomly. I would want to have them by my wife. I wouldn't want to go and meet no young girl and be like, "You want a baby?" I wouldn't want to do it like that. But she already told me it ain't happening. So I've already settled for the fact that I'm probably gonna be getting a dog somewhere here soon. Like,
You
and
ever
then
thought
that'll
about
be.
foster kids, like helping other children out
I've
and
thought
shit?
about that, but I think sometimes you got to be careful what you bring into your home.
True.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really thought about that. I really have, real. But I'm,
yeah.
like you said, I am gonna be old, right? So I ain't gonna be having no energy to chase around no problem child, right? So I don't,
I
I've been
see.
fucking around and adopted a kid boy and shit. Now I'm not.
Yeah.
They looking at me like
I
you can't
see.
control him. I'm like, nigga, I'm 70. What the fuck was you talking about? I didn't know the motherfucker was even gone. I've been asleep 3 days. Like I don't want to, but it's a possibility, man. Because honestly, the
Yeah,
better that I become financially, that will become more of a possibility. That I
right,
will
right.
say, you know what, I got this. I'm getting my money like I want. I would bring a kid in and bless him to be, but with a watchful eye. Like, boy, as soon as you start stealing, your ass going back to the foster home. Can you put him back in the foster home like that? Like, I want to return this.
I believe you
Like, let us
can.
see your
No,
receipt.
I believe so.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Like, he stole my car last night. Can I get a refund? Like, I've been
Yeah,
feeding dude for
it's
3
different
years. At
if you
least give me a
adopted
food
them and
voucher.
shit, but there's foster parents and then there's adoption. These are just
Right.
foster people. You know.
I thought
No,
about
I wouldn't want to do the foster, because if I did get attached, then they come get him, I'm gonna be sick. So I'd
I
be
mean,
like, well,
you be having the option to adopt if you feeling them like that.
okay,
You
okay.
know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, my family used to do it and shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I just keep seeing Pacino and De Niro, and I know that this is about to become a trend. So all these old actors who finna die off and shit, they finna be having babies and shit. Like they finna be having these young girls. I'm sympathetic for Courtney's friend. Just because he's 55 don't mean he need to be kicked to the curb. Maybe he need to get a 45-year-old with some grown kids. Maybe, I don't know.
yeah.
Or,
And they
or
both
maybe
started
he
going
just
on
need to.
cruises and shit.
You
Right.
know, But I don't know. You gave me a different perspective. I guess I just know the way I would feel if when I'm older and my kids grown. So I can't be putting how I would feel on
But you don't
everybody
know how
else.
you gonna feel when you get older because
I'm
you ain't
not gonna
gotten
want to
older
have
yet.
no kids or be, I'm saying? No. No. I may be cool seeing some grandkids later. I don't want to raise no kids. I don't want to know. I've
I'm
already
tired of
calculated
kids.
how old I'll be. When no, I'll be fresh 46. No. Good. Yes.
I
That's
don't
Once
yes.
I'm
know.
rich and got nannies and shit, I might be up to it.
Right. Type shit. Yeah, I can see that. If you say, well, shit, you ain't got to clean up behind him. But once again, I've
I,
already been told that this ain't gonna happen. So, like I said, I have a chocolate Labrador or some or a black lab at the park. You'd be like,
Get
he
one of
love
them
that dog.
Frenchies that everybody breeding now and shit. Them little French bulldogs.
No, I won't do no little ass dog. I
Nah.
hate little dogs.
damn.
When I see somebody walking a little bitty dog, it makes me mad. Why you walking that little bitty ass dog?
I'll get Kev.
I used to want an English bulldog, but now I see these French ones popping. Everybody selling them motherfuckers.
Yeah, a lot of brothers been trying to get into that. They worth a lot of money. My brother
Like
was
6 G's,
trying
I've
to
been
do
seeing them
he was
3 to
trying to do
6 G's.
bullies for a long time. So it's a lot of money in it. But I'm just saying. But no, man, 83 years old. I just hope, first of all, I hope that I can make it to 83 because that's
Right,
not an age that we often get to.
right.
But if I do, I
Chicken and
hope
Kool-Aid and the candy lady.
well, he's rich. They rich, so that's a whole different. We talk about cloning and all
Yeah.
kinds of different stuff, and
Stem
stem
cells
research,
and
and yeah, it's all kinds of stuff for a rich person. But I hope if I live to be 83, I'm still like looking at. I hope I can still look at a woman and be like, woo wee, because you think at that age you're gonna be like, man, please, I ain't got time for that
that's
shit.
it. It's young people
Man,
taking blue chews and shit like it be tripping me out too, cause motherfuckers be scared to death to try a mushroom, but then to go to the gas station and get a dick pill or get a blue chew off the internet. Like
Right.
I don't understand the logic with it, but more power to them. But they young needing that help and shit.
Yeah, this is all women's fault. This is all women's fault. This is all. I blame women for all of this.
How?
I gotta hear this.
Right.
Because women, when you start to get older, right? When you start, it's natural. When you start to get older, your libido slows down. Like you didn't put enough stress on your back, right? You just, I ain't what I used to be. Women say, aha,
Right?
you can't, look, and then you say, really? I'm about to go get this goddamn pill from this gas station. Have your ass running up the wall. A lot of times it'll kill you. Ask Kevin Samuels. But women have created this where you think you should be able to go hardcore until you 60. That's not really a natural thing for you to be 65 years old, still knocking them down all night long. But women have created this pressure. So men like shit, if they can get their boobs enlarged and get BBLs, I can go get me a pill where I can keep it up all night. I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Knock
If
you down all night long when they young. Like maybe in your early 20s or something, but niggas don't just be knocking you down all night long. That's not what happens. It's not
I'm gonna
so.
avoid that conversation, I'm not gonna even. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna turn left on that. You're right. I don't know.
Sure.
I wouldn't know.
Huh.
I don't know
Maybe
nothing
I
about that.
heard that.
Say that again, Sean.
I said maybe I should not have heard that. So maybe it wasn't for me to hear.
I
But I
mean,
didn't hear what.
I
for
know. I see. That's that
anybody having
pressure. That's
trouble
that pressure.
and anybody having trouble and want to go the natural route, you may want to look up Tongue Cat Ali and Maca Root. Those are some libido enhancers. Also, squats. They found that when you
What?
exercise your thigh muscles, it actually causes men to produce more testosterone. So, them
Oh,
some natural ways to kind of get your mojo back.
And I
oh.
realized it was probably things like my last statement that made people go get pills and things. Me making statements like that, saying
Man, I
they
watched the 85 South podcast and they always promoting blue chews and shit. I'm like, damn, young niggas. Like, even that honey pack that everybody was buying for a little bit, that got Cialis in it. So it's a bootleg Viagra that they selling over the counter as a honey thing, and people think it's natural, but it really got Cialis in it. Bootleg Viagra.
Well, what about this? What if I'm an old man and it is what it is? I mean, you get a young girl in there, she be like, oh, you be like, man, I'm 65 motherfucking years old. What the fuck you talking about? Shit, I was just practicing. I was just trying. I ain't tripping. I ain't gonna take no pill or nothing. If he jump up out the bed and he's 67 and he getting down like that, you know something's wrong anyways. Like, I gotta run from this motherfucker. Because you about to be pregnant. Like, so you better go. But once again, it could be a sugar baby, a sugar baby, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, man. Live your life, man. If you can't walk and they say here's a surgery that can fix your foot, go get your foot fixed. If you still want to put it down and they say here go a pill, you can still go get you a pill.
Yeah, I'm just saying, just don't be scared of nature. Don't be scared of mushrooms and getting pills from the bathroom stall and shit. I mean, the little bathroom vending machine and shit.
Right, try something natural first, man. Don't listen to Kev.
Tonkat Ali and maca root.
What you mean? Don't listen to Kev? I'm telling you.
Kill if you want it.
I'm saying, no. Go get whatever it takes, man. If that's what you want, I want people to live their lives. I don't think you should put no restrictions on yourself if it's something that you want to do.
Live it the healthy way, though. If there's a healthy option for it to get you the same result, let's try that first.
Okay, just try that first, right? Yeah. And if that's just happen to not work, go on to the 7-Eleven.
Right.
Like, hey man, let me get not that one, the gold one. The one with the African mask on it. Go down there and get that shit, man. Because you ain't got to worry about Jody coming to get your woman then. Like, shit. I mean, you got to die from something, right? Mama Jenkins said, last Friday I sat in the court and watched the judge give my nephew killer 35 years in custody and 15 years on paper for a total of 50 years. I didn't feel no pain for him because of his past behavior in the community and the murder of my nephew. But what I did feel the need for was jail reform and incarceration training. The system is a disgrace and stale with changes needed now. She said, when I got in my car, I felt the tears for joy and pain for both families. It cut you off, Mama Jenkins. You know what? That's that that double jeopardy that we talked about. Like, man, do I really the person who killed my guy, do I want to go kill him? Because if I do, then his family's affected. And then my family's affected. So it started with my homeboy's family being, his family's just falling by the wayside. And so that's why I said I'd rather it be, the police or some sort of increased attention to what's going on as opposed to me doing it. I don't want to pick my pistol up and patrol the neighborhood. I'm not no vigilante, right? I don't want to be the one to come outside at night and catch a kid breaking in the car and he go for a gun and I kill him, because now I got to go to sleep every night thinking, damn, I murdered a 16-year-old over a car.
And you're not going to get the lenience that an officer who did the same thing would have got. Like, you're going to be looked at differently in the court of law than the officer. The officer got a fighting chance. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And Mama Jenkins, shout out to you, because I did see the news where they actually spoke to you and you gave them a quote and you talked about the reality of it and the loss that this has kind of weighed on the family. And I like how she said she didn't feel no pain for him, but then she thought about the whole big picture and said, damn, I don't know if I'm happy or sad now. I don't feel no better than I did before because this won't bring my people back. Like, ultimately, no matter what we do, it's not going to bring that individual back, right? And that's why I say, yeah, I was emotional. I was upset about my guy. And I think about, man, I hope they get that little nigga who did it and all that. But then I'd be like, but even if they got him and killed him, it's not going to bring the homie back, right? Like, so it's that rock and hard place. I want my community cleaned up by any means necessary. And I want the bad element removed. And I feel like gentrification won't be as bad as we think it might be, because those of us who are already progressive, who are doing what we need to do, won't have to move. You won't have to move. You get your money right. Start getting your money right now. So when it comes, you can still build and say, oh, hey, yeah, what's up? I ain't moving.
They move in, they come buy my cigars and my health and beauty products and my books and shit. They be my clientele. They don't spend money and shit.
bunch of white people with afros in Walmart talking about, what's up, brother?
My CBD cigars.
Right. I know. I live next to white people right now. So what's the difference, right? There's white people, Hmong people, Latinos. There's all kinds of people in my neighborhood. Matter of fact, this is the most diverse neighborhood I've ever lived in. And I did not even know that this existed on the north side until I moved into this neighborhood. Like, damn, it's
Right.
what?
My homeowner side is all diverse, but then across the street, all the renters is the motherfuckers subbing at 7 a.m. and popping fireworks all through the year and shit. Like, we just need more homeowners again, man, with sense.
Yeah, we need more. I think Sean said accountability. I love that word.
Yeah.
I love that word. Like we don't take enough blame. I take part of the blame for why the community is the way it is, because at one point I was dysfunctional in the community. Right? I can't really judge these youngsters and say, oh man, go to hell, because I used to do the same thing. But the one thing I do understand is, had I got caught doing it, they would have got rid of my ass. Like, I would have been gone. I would have had to go and do my time. And I was willing to face that circumstance, that possibility when I was out there. So what I don't want is for when they do get swept up to be looking then crying, talking about, man, I didn't know. Go ahead. I hear you. You didn't know this time. I bet your ass will know next time. I bet you know better next time, right? If you ever get out, right? And so, man, but it's time for tough love, man. It's time for tough love. It's time to start talking about what we gonna do. What are we gonna do with our kids? Not what they gonna do with our kids. Because when they do come, or when they get here, because I know they're already here, when they move in this direction, you got to be prepared. Why would you wait until the enemy is at the gates to say, I think we should get ready for war? They at the gates now. You're supposed to start preparing before they even got to your facility. So I just think black people have to wake up and realize it is, in some sorts, a war. It's a war of attrition. How long can you maximize your resources so you can survive? How long will you be able to maneuver without getting caught behind enemy lines or caught by, the opposition slipping? I thought once you grew up and you got out the hood and you said, man, I'm 40 something, I'm about to be just chilling. I'm at that stage where I can kick my feet up. I thought you'd be safe, but then I got homeboys that's our age dropping like flies. And I'm telling you, that's what's making me say, I'm going to rethink my stance on gentrification. I feel that strongly about it. When I talk about brothers who got grandkids getting murdered,
damn,
by some but for something that makes no sense at all, something nobody should lose their life for. You could disagree with me. You can call me anything you want. It don't really bother me. But I say, I'm looking at gentrification now, like maybe this is what we need. Not with Barada and them, because them ain't gentrifiers. I'm not talking about Barada. He's an occupier. He's not a gentrifier, right? And the state is ruled against him too. I mean, he's got some issues, some legal issues. He'll deal with it. He got money. I don't feel sorry for him.
He was trying to buy the judge.
Right. Right. So, type shit. But yeah, man, I like I say, soldier story. This is how it goes. If you ever stood on those blocks, and anybody who wants to stand out there, and if you're going to have a conversation with your children, what I always tell young people is, I seen this movie before. I already know what happened at the end. And I know it's all sweet in the beginning, because ignorance, is bliss. And you're young and you out here, you think I'm living in the moment and everything is building to this crescendo. And then the bubble bursts and motherfuckers go to scrambling like roaches. And it ain't fun. It ain't cool. Ain't no slow motion. Ain't no smoke machine. Ain't nothing glamorous about it when you start seeing your people drop, when things start to happen to you. And then it's like, damn, man, all that for nothing. We did all that shit for nothing, because motherfuckers work and hustle hard. I was getting $1 million a day only to be broker than broke when they're older, when you really need the money. It's like, man, I used to have, you used to have it, but you a greeter at Walmart now, OG.
Bands at a stripper booty, and now you broke.
Right. Man, I used to drop 50,000 in the stripper club. Now. Say that again, Sean.
I ain't never getting a job at Walmart now.
Why? What's wrong? Walmart give you good checks, man. Go ahead, man. Be at that door. Like, can I see your receipt? They be like, oh, gee, you this where you work? Yeah, man. Sean Mo. Let me see your receipt, punk.
Yeah, they ain't like
work.
Get up, punk, before I call security. Sean Mo rules in effect. I'm telling you, he trying to steal some washing powder.
I need to go no more room shit again.
He said I'm gonna be over your house looking for your ass. I'm gonna call the police, Sean. I'm gonna tell them. The notorious Sean Moore is after me, right? Let me stop joking, because if the police come to your house or something tonight, motherfuckers be like, Kev, he told on
Right.
Sean. And Sean will be like, he said he was gonna do it, man. On the show, he said I ain't going back on their shit. Calling me Vlad and everything.
Don't do that. I'm calling both.
Right. And yeah, that's always a good angle
Yeah.
with me. If you see me doing wrong, to know which one of my cousins that I'd actually listen to and call him, and then he'll call me like, Big Hand, what the hell going on, man? So no, we good. I won't tell on you tonight, but don't threaten me again.
Well,
Check this out. We won't be back until Monday. Like I said, I plan to get my garden off the ground this weekend. I'm a little hyped because I know last time I did it, it was fun. But I'm looking forward to just even getting out in my yard this weekend and getting it set. So I'm that's the only thing on my weekend that I'm planning to do. My son has a basketball tournament, so I think it'll just be my daughter and my wife and I believe. I don't know. I know me and my wife are both on this endeavor, like, hey, let's do this garden thing. But just like a husband and wife, we even disagree about how we should do it, right? Like, you gotta work this shit out. Like, I don't like it like that. Well, this is what I want now. Well, let's get two. You do yours, I do mine. It'd be that kind of shit. Like, no, then it's a competition. Who green beans is bigger. I turned it into that shit. She won't care. But so that's all I got coming for this weekend. Real, what you got coming this weekend?
The same thing, getting my gardens back right. I fucked around and planted my collards with the rest of my greens, and I should have put my collards with my broccoli and cabbage and shit that I got covered by the net. So now, just yesterday, I had to go out there and pick them punk ass cabbage worms off my collards and shit, man. I hate them motherfucking things, man. So yeah, put your broccoli, cabbage, and collards together so you could just cover them motherfuckers with a net. Because otherwise, them white butterflies sit on them and put them cabbage worms on them.
Okay, and that's definitely a thing. I want to know how to set my, because I think I'm gonna do elevated.
Yeah.
The box, and I need to know what to plant next to what so it can grow. So I'm gonna have to do some research on that.
Shit, just holler at me.
Because I damn sure want some greens, and I damn sure want some. I guess cabbage makes sense too, But I'm gonna try to put a bunch of different shit in there. From what I understand, it's pretty big. So, but I'll be in touch with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Courtney, what you got coming up this weekend?
Nothing much. Open house at the New Hope Children's Center. That is on 33rd and Brown. So tomorrow's open house from 5 to 7. It's still registration if you need summer camp for your kids. $50 registration fee. You can look at Rita Lee. But yeah, open house tomorrow, and there's going to be a couple other people there. This is for the village organization because we're going to be having a class at the summer camp for the youth. Go, Courtney.
Is it more than one village up here? Because I be seeing some stuff sometimes when I be like, is this Courtney now? But it'd be somebody else saying village. So I don't know if that's somebody who works for you or what.
And village.
I know I've seen a couple events that say the village, and I'm like, is that Courtney's organization? I don't never know. Because I'm like, I don't
title their stuff with the word the village in it. Because y'all know the Urban League had a event with Umar Johnson. It was called It Takes a Village or something like that. And the only other village organization it was the Village Group, and that was Keon Jackson Malone, but he didn't shut that down because I done popped up with the village organization.
Okay. Sean, what you on, man? What you on for the weekend?
I'm down here in Florida, man. I'll be coming back up there next week, so I'm trying to get seriously prepared to come back and face y'all demons.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm on.
Our demons? You said y'all demons?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Your demons. Y'all demons.
So are you planning on leaving yours in Florida? I'm trying to figure this out.
Nope.
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know how it got to be my demons, right? I'm the gentrifier. I'm the gentrifier, right? I don't. But I want to say,
no, you're not a colonizer.
I'm a colonizer. Okay. Well, y'all better buckle up, boy, because I'm about to ship some of you motherfuckers off, right? Big ass boat in Lake Michigan, sending your ass to the Upper Peninsula. Um, Mama Jenkins, I want to say to you, God bless you. You are very brave and you are an asset to our community because, like I said, I seen where you spoke on the news and you spoke and made a lot of sense and you spoke to the situation like only an elder could. And I was like really happy because I'm like, that's that's Mama Jenkins, right? Like she was really, really, and it wasn't no, a lot of times they try to put the worst of us on screen. It really wasn't.
Mhm.
She spoke very well and she was poignant on what she said, but God bless you for the loss of your nephew because no matter what happens, you can't get your nephew back.
Right,
I
right.
take that to extend to the family of my brother Danye. Um, nothing is gonna bring him back. And it's a shame that it happened the way it did because I really believe he didn't deserve what he got. That extends to the family of my brother Tavares Thomas T Rock. Just ridiculous that this brother gets that he goes out the way he does. I want to reiterate so much that these were good brothers and Tavares was a good dude, right? And so I don't know. I never even seen the man raise his voice before. He was always cool. Everybody who I was ever around always had love for him. It's the same way with my brother Ye. Every in the hood, everybody loved Ye. That's why we call him Ye Yo the Don, right? Everybody loved Ye. And so to, eventually you got to pack up and keep it moving. It's Oregon Trail, but it's gonna be different. It's gonna be hard without, going forward without thinking about you. Like I think of whenever I ride through the hood now, I'm gonna think about Danye. Whenever I'm in that in their hood, shout out to Trey Six. And if I see anybody from over there, and shout out to Kamar because that's actually Kamar's neighborhood. Kamar's in Vegas, right? He's on vacation with his woman. Or I mean to put his business out there. He's on vacation in Vegas and he's, having a great time. He and I spoke a couple different times over the past 2 days because I know he had a very, very, very strong relationship with T Rock. And I know he was kind of feeling it because we both were kind of like, man, can you believe it? So when he comes back, I will allow him to kind of talk about it. But the violence in our community is so damn real and it's so tragic. And we keep talking about on the show where if you want to ignore these problems and think you can run off and not do nothing about it or contribute to something, some solution, eventually it will creep up to your door, right? And so when I say, I want to just run off and live with gentrifiers, I'm serious, but I'm joking, right? I mean, my desire to live in a peaceful, progressive community in which we protect our assets. Um, I'm serious about that, but I'm not ready to give up on my people yet. I'm just extremely fucking frustrated with Black Milwaukee. I'm extremely frustrated that in spite of the deaths that we've seen from reckless drivers, I can be driving down the street and there's still two or three summer bitches that's gonna be on that bullshit. You the reason we got bump outs, fuck boy. Like, and I'm still stressing that kids are choosing to be dysfunctional at school instead of getting that education, right? And I'm disappointed and I'm disgusted at the people who run the school system who just keep perpetuating the dysfunction and not really coming up with true solutions. I'm passing the buck around. I'm disappointed with the city for not having a prevention program that's effective. I feel like you got enough time, money, and resources to have something that could at least curb some of this shit. Right now,
Right.
it's just like throwing money in the air just for no reason. And so I'm frustrated on a lot of different points, but I can't ever really give up on my people. But I didn't do a show Monday. I started not to do one tonight because as much as we talk about positivity and solutions for the community, I look at this shit and I say, well, damn, ain't nobody listening. Don't nobody give a fuck, right? But it's in
Ain't
these
nobody healed.
well, in these times, it's important that we continue to soldier on. Like when you feeling down and you feeling disgusted is when you really got to push forward the most. So to get stagnant right now would have been counterproductive for myself as well. And I know a lot of y'all love the show, and I appreciate that. People, when we're not on, people hit me up, care where the show, what we doing, what we on tonight. So but I'm telling you, I'm so frustrated with Black Milwaukee right now. I actually had to take a step back and say, you know what? Because you can't really make good decisions when you're emotional, right? And
Mhm.
so I'm trying to stay logical and trying to stay, keep this real perspective, but I'm so disgusted with the way we do each other in this city. right? I'm so disgusted. And people say, well, Kev, move. I don't even know if that's the answer because eventually you'll move somewhere where they doing the same shit. They're doing the same shit. So yeah, man, y'all keep your head on the swivel. I don't really have nothing super enlightful to say. I don't have a quotable. I don't have a speech. I don't have a magic wand. I don't have enough pool in my own neighborhood to go over there and be able to run up on a youngster on the corner and say, hey, man, cut the bullshit out. I want you off these streets. He'll be like, what? Look here, Mr. What Courtney call it? Old ass nigga. Let's get in your little car and go. Like, go have a baby or something. And that frustrates me too. And so, because I've always felt I always feel kind of guilty that I did leave the hood. I did leave. People listen say, you damn right. I did. And I was contemplating going back in some capacity just to interact with my people. But now I'm like, fuck that. I'm just gonna go fishing instead. Right? I'm moving on. So I'm sure I'll recapture my energy and my vigor by Monday night. This garden is gonna go a long way into helping me with that. You know, maybe I'll go to the range or something, let off some shots or something. I don't know. I gotta find a way to ease my mind and let off some of the tension, man. But in the meantime and in between time, man, y'all stay safe, man. When they say life is too short, please believe me, it is. Fuck all that petty shit. You know, if you can salvage a relationship with somebody that you love and care for, do it. Because you don't want to be in a
But
situation where you say, man, I should have called that man and talked to him before I didn't know that was the last time I was gonna see him. So, man, like I always say, man, the solution to this is we got to figure out a way to get back to some love in the community, man. That's all it comes down to. It ain't real complicated. The complicated part of it is how do you make the people right now who've never felt love or even understand what that is to embrace a new concept? We don't know. We'll get Ashanti Hamilton on the show so he can explain it to us. I'm joking. I'm kidding around, man.
good luck.
Move around in your neighborhood, man. Be safe, man. Be a product, be a progressive person in your community. Be a product of positivity, man. Because we already know, man, there are people in this world whose criticism of the community outweighs their contribution. And that is the reason why we have so many motherfucking coons. Peace and love, man. I will see y'all Monday, man. Y'all stay safe. I don't need no bad news, man. I'll see y'all.
For sure.